We about to see it. We live.
That's fire. Peace to the people. It's Friday. Welcome everybody to another edition, another show of Under Big Dogs. Where we let the fans talk about the sport topics that we bring up. So if it's anybody out there, when we put those topics up, come into the Discord, get on a live stream with us, and talk about these sports topics with us. All right? Welcome, man. Welcome, Gator. Another Friday where we're giving the fans an opportunity to talk sports. One of our biggest quotes on Under Big Dogs is if you love sports, make talking sports a part of your livelihood. And this is the platform where you are able to do that. You're able to get in on this live stream and talk sports with us. So let's go. Let's go. Let's start them off with some sports news that you may or may not have heard, but you didn't hear us discuss them. So we'll run through them quickly.
Yeah. So we'll start with the two things out of the NBA. Um, Jared Vanderbilt signs a 4-year extension with the Lakers. 4 years is a long time. He must be a good role player. I don't know much about Vanderbilt, but you want to give them a little insight of what type of what that contract brings to the Lakers?
He's obviously a key piece, like like it's just in terms of what a role player can offer a team. You know what I mean? And so that's what he is. That's what he's about. Rebounder, runs the floor, could hit the corner three, decent finisher around the rim, hustle guy, second chances, get second chance balls. Like he's one of those kind of dudes. And so I love the opportunity for Jared Vanderbilt as a Laker.
Okay, and another thing out of the NBA. Looks like our prayers are going to be answered. Hopefully, looks NBA is trying to figure out a way to figure out this resting policy. It looks like they're moving forward with something. What I've heard so far is that you can't rest more than one superstar per game. I don't know how they're going to determine that. How do you think they're going to determine who is a superstar or not?
Um,
You know what I mean? That's just the gray area I'm seeing here. How like
I think by numbers,
yeah
by numbers, by numbers. So I think their classification of a superstar is going to be different from the media's us. You know what I mean? Like the
yeah
media, like if a guy is averaging 28 points a game, but we know it's because like for example, like Jordan Poole on the Washington Wizards this year. He's the only guy over there. This year he's going to average about 28 to 30 points a game. But we know, we don't classify him yet as a superstar. It takes you got to endure, you got to win at the highest level. You got to win in the playoffs. You got to show us reasons why you are a superstar before we give you that classification. But the NBA, they're going to look at guys like that and classify them as superstars, put them in that category. So that's a good thing though. That's a good thing.
Yeah, I can't wait. I I'm not a fan of this resting policy, so I'm excited to see what they do with that. Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, so we'll switch to NFL news now. The rest of the NFL news, we all saw it, but it's the true. MRI confirms torn Achilles, season ending. It pains me. It pains me because I was really not even so much excited for Aaron Rodgers and the potential of finally getting back to a Super Bowl. I'm sad for the players on the team. Second year Garrett Wilson. Um, I was really excited to watch him this year. I'm still excited to watch him, but him with Aaron Rodgers would have been different, man. It just would have been different. So You got any take about that? We're gonna talk more about the Jets in a little later,
Yeah, we'll
but
talk about that. We'll
yeah,
talk about that later. We'll leave it
another
there.
um the what do you think about this turf versus grass thing too? That's part of the news. A lot of players are complaining about turf causing all these injuries. Do you think that's a real thing or it's in their head?
You know what it is? You know how I think about this whole, with the players complaining about turf fields versus real grass. All of these guys want real grass, right?
Yeah,
And what the commissioner said, the commissioner of the football league, what National Football League, what he said was, we can't base our decision making off of what the players are saying. We really lean on professionals, scientists, people who really are, in that, like doctors, like who say which field is safer to play on, grass or turf. And all of the information that the NFL is receiving from these professionals is that the turf is
grass.
more safe to play on.
Oh
And
wow.
so yeah, no, that's what they so
Okay.
that's why they're leaning on turf fields, like, and they're trying to get that thing going on all NFL fields, because most of what the information that they're receiving is that turf fields are safer on the human body than is grass field. However, my point, my this is my thing. Look, take a survey, like with the NBA, right? And you say this all the time, Gator, that the NBA gives players too much leeway, like too much ownership of the league. Like they get so much say and so much revolves around the mind of the player in the NBA. And we know that it's the total opposite in the NFL. It's the total opposite. The NFL owners and the NFL front offices is the one who runs the NFL and the NFL. But my whole thing is, all right, give something to the players. Like if the player, like
I agree. I agree. I
it's
think we
certain
need to find
things
a
where,
happy medium.
but this is what I'm saying. It's certain things where it's just like, okay, players, let's take a survey. How many of y'all want grass field? How many of y'all want turf field? If the survey is outstanding in favor of having grass field, then do it. No matter, even what the doctors are saying, because guess what's going to end up happening? It's going to be egg in the player's face, and then the NFL is going to get to say, "See, look." So it's just like it doesn't matter. Like give them that when they start continuing to get injured and hurt, and it's even more at an alarming rate than on turf field. Then the NFL is going to be like, "Okay, what's up?" So I feel as though this should be one of those situations where they just let the players have it. If the players want it, let them have it. Let them have it. What's the difference?
It's one of those things. That's at this point, it's a money thing. So apparently, it's easy. It's a lot cheaper. So to
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 manage turf
to
than it
manage
is.
turf, that's where we're at with that. So they are thinking of ways. So the new stadiums are thinking of ways to make it cheaper. We got the Vegas stadium and I think the Cardinal stadium. They have retractable grass fields, so it's a little easier to manage it. They let the field go outside in the sunlight outside of the stadium during the day, and they bring it back in. So there are stadiums, certain stadiums, especially the new ones, that are trying to figure out ways to manage a grass field a little easier. So hopefully, maybe they can think of stuff like that especially with these new stadiums going. Buffalo Bills getting a new stadium. A lot of these teams are having new stadiums now, so hopefully they can find out a way to get grass fields back into the NFL. Other NFL news: Chris Jones. Oh, I forgot NBA news. I'll just talk about that one real quick. The Cavs re-signed Tristan Thompson to a 1-year deal. He will be back with the team. Good defensive player for the Cavs. What you think about that?
Um.
Just a 1-year deal, nothing too crazy.
Wait, who?
Tristan Thompson re-signed with
Oh.
the
Well,
Cavs.
it was a meme about that, like about
I'm
Tristan
sure
Thompson
there
being back
will.
on the
I'm sure there
Cavs
was.
and saying, like, let's run it back and stuff like that. But I mean, that's okay. It is what it is. That's no big deal. That's no big deal. No comment on that. And I want to thank Paris Mill for joining the show today. Look, this is a beautiful thing. I just want like people need to understand. This is Paris Mills' first time on the show. I don't know if he's home or if he's out. It doesn't matter because right here on any device, you could join the show on any device from anywhere you are. You could watch it on YouTube when we're live, or you can join the stream live from anywhere you are. So, and thank you. Who was that in our comments that was back with us?
Moz is back.
Matt Marsdorf, thank you for joining the show again, yet again today. Listen, Marsdorf, I know you like to watch, and again, I don't mind it. Enjoy, and continue to make comments in the comment section on YouTube. Marsdorf, remember to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell so that you get the notifications when we're live, Marsdorf. But you could be on the show too. Talk these topics with us. Be on the show too. Paris Mill, welcome to Under Big Dogs. Welcome to the show.
Yes, sir. Thanks for being.
Go ahead,
So,
Gabe.
y'all-
Close out those sports news so we can get to our first
Yeah,
topic
just
today.
just a few little things here. Chris Jones signs a 1-year deal with the Chiefs, and Travis Kelce returns for the Chiefs, so they are in full tack going into week 2. If you're a Chiefs fan, you gotta love that, especially coming off a hard loss at home and a tough opponent. I think on the road this week in Jacksonville, it's not a gimme, so they're gonna need everybody at full strength this week. And Austin Eckler doubtful for week 2. Chargers lost game 1. It looks like they're going to be without Austin Eckler for week 2. So that's all the news we got around sports today. We will start with our first topic.
Sir, yes, sir. How are we doing today, fellas?
That's my guy right there.
Yeah, how are we? How are we? I was trying to figure out how to get through. Yeah, I was actually touching on a really good subject. I really wanted to talk about that turf thing.
Go ahead. No, throw your take on it. Yeah, throw your take on it.
I only have one main rebuttal to that, right? As far as like real turf and grass goes, it's not as if it's not feasible for NFL teams to do it, right? Now, I was just reading a study that anytime soccer players come and play on these NFL fields, these NFL stadiums do everything they can to pull out those real grass fields, right? And there's so many teams where they're southern teams. There's no reason there shouldn't be a grass fields. Those are a lot cheaper to maintain. I get the northern ones. All right, there's an argument there. But these southern teams, you guys have the type of temperature, humidity, or whatever it takes to garnish that at a more feasible price. You see what I'm saying? Not to mention, it's like football was founded on real grass, y'all. You know what I mean? And anybody who's played on turf knows that turf can be a bit bouncy. You know what I mean? There's like this bounce to it that
it doesn't give.
That it doesn't. It doesn't. And it's like soft tissues, like that's kind of a newer thing. Guys don't get hurt from soft tissues, didn't get hurt from soft tissue injuries back in the day. That comes from turfs. You know what I mean? Just that bounciness to it. And it's sad to say that it had to go out like that. The Aaron Rodgers thing destroyed me, by the way, y'all.
I always see you in the comments about your Jets. So.
Oh man, it crushed me, by the way. So when that conversation goes, believe me, I'm gonna pop back up so we can talk about that one. But this turf thing, I mean, the first guy that came to mind when they start talking the turf conversation was, do y'all remember how bad Odell Beckham left the Giants because of this very exact reason? That was at one point in time. I want to say that year it was between him and AB was probably one of the best receivers that year. Yeah. And he messed around and got injured. That was a Super Bowl caliber guy until he got injured. Le'Veon Bell when he went down with Vontaze Burfict.
Are you saying ultimately? Like just?
I think you had it reversed, King. I think the studies are grass is safer.
I don't know what yeah, that's what I'm saying. Are you saying grass? Are you suggesting that the information that you looked up, grass is safer?
Grass is safer. Grass is in fact
for non-contact injuries. That's what they're saying.
For non-contact injuries.
Roger Goodell was just on First Take saying how all of the reasons and ways in which scientists, everybody who study turf versus real grass on the human body is better. So it's just the NFL's way of like just saying screw that, like we just gonna do what we want, or like do you think he's actually spitting real truth?
I don't think so because, with all due respect, shout out to Roger Goodell, but Roger Goodell is at the mercy of NFL owners. And he's been that way for a while now. If the NFL owners say this isn't profitable, it doesn't matter what a player says or what a fan says. These are the men that are paying him, and this is what's going on. It's happened too many times. We've seen Roger Goodell have to tuck his tail. The main time I can think of when Roger Goodell tucked his tail the most is, do y'all remember the kneeling? Just the kneeling of the flag. That was something simple. All he had to say was just, look, players can feel free to take a stance, and I stand behind that. And it almost as if he wanted to make that stance, but he couldn't. You know what I mean? Because you have guys like Jerry Jones and Jim Irsay that they have a different opinion to it, and they're willing to pay to get their opinions across the league. You know what I mean?
Got it. Got it.
So it's like,
Got it.
You can even use the Tom Brady suspension as well. A lot of people didn't think Tom Brady should have been suspended, and he did it anyway.
Did it anyways. How many times have we seen guys go out and do some of the most egregious things and you know what I mean, put their hands on women or fight at a club, and they're out for 3 games and then don't get caught betting.
You're out. Sports betting is a year.
It's like
Calvin Ridley missed the whole season for betting on games.
Yeah, it's the craziest thing. It's like,
a guy kneels and he's out of the league.
Man, he's out of the league.
Well, that's a little different. He sued the league. That's a little different, but I don't know. I don't know if he didn't sue the league. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how far that would have went. But
Colin
Kaepernick
was Colin Kaepernick. I'm not saying he's a starter now, but when he was trying to get into the league,
he deserves to start.
He deserved to start. He deserved to start. I don't know where, but he definitely had a couple of spots.
Yeah,
you know.
Yep, I'll give you that. What's our first topic, Gator?
Eagles versus Vikings. Anybody who watched the game last night, what are your takeaways from it? Main takeaways. I actually, I'll start. I think Kirk Cousins looked good. I think his team threw the game for him last night. I think he played one of the best primetime games he's played in a long time. Special teams fumbling, good field position. The kick return in the first quarter. Vikings get a punt return for inside the Eagles 30, and the guy coughs up the ball. Justin Jefferson fumbles at the half-inch line going in right before halftime. Kirk Cousins only turned the ball over once, and it was just a fumble off just bad offensive line play. He threw no picks last night. He looked very good. He looked very good against that Eagles defense. So I wouldn't put. That was my biggest takeaway. I thought Kirk Cousins looked really good last night, and what people give him a lot of heat for his primetime performances. I think he showed up last night at least.
Paris?
I'll tell you what. I've been a Kirk Cousins fan for a while now because he's one of those guys that he's playoff bound given if their defense can just figure it out. You know what I mean? Like, Kirk Cousins has been part of a lot of high-powered offenses. And this year, I mean, the fact that you just went toe-to-toe with the Eagles says a lot about you. You know what I mean? Like, you have your own Justin Jefferson. You have your own the tight end. I can't think of his name right now. That tight end had a lights-out game. Hawkinson, that's his name. I think, highest paid tight end. They have what it takes, but okay, what I did realize is I don't think they have a corner. I don't think they have a corner to save them.
Their defense is horrible. Their defense is hard. They got ran through last night.
I'm not gonna go that far and say their defense is horrible.
That defensive line did something.
They got quality names on that defense. Like they definitely got quality name, big time players on that defense.
DeAndre
Like Paris,
Swift ran for
I
180 last night.
no, I get well. See, but this well, first of all, Eagles. We gotta put things in perspective, and I'll let you continue, Paris. Excuse me. Eagles got the best offensive line in the NFL.
Yeah,
You, you're
yeah, I
not,
know.
you're not, you're not stopping them from pushing forward. I don't care what team you are in the NFL. You could be the 49ers D line. The Eagles are going to have success on the ground. But
100%.
I'm just saying, I love Paris as he continues his soliloquy. I love Paris's cornerback take with this team. Their cornerbacks, and I wasn't even thinking about that. Their cornerbacks are sus. Go ahead, Paris.
They are garbage. I mean, I wouldn't call them garbage.
It's
No, they are.
sus.
It's fit.
We,
No, they're
we, we,
garbage. You could call them
I
that. They're
wouldn't call
garbage.
them garbage because I mean it's hard for most corners in this league to guard AJ Brown and Devontae Smith. Like, I mean that's nuts, y'all. Like that's nuts. I mean that one play, I think I didn't even see Devontae on the field. I just seen him like 60 yards and it was like, oh, he chucked the ball. Oh wow. Okay, he's already at the red zone. Like I mean those two guys are crazy.
That's true.
So I mean let's wait till they play someone like less Eagles Miami kind of crazy wide receiver core.
But they're 0-2 right now, Paris. To that you say what? I mean, because this Vikings team, I had high hopes for. Like I had high hopes for their offense arsenal that they have that you alluded to. What like to 0-2 start? Is that scary territory for them right now?
No, but that's only because of the division that they're in.
Yeah, the NFC's
It's
weak.
it's a slow starting division, and I mean I hate to say it, but the Vikings have started off every year slowly. You know what I mean? Like this is the first time that normally it takes them a while to get going. Once they get going, I think they can take it. I just, oh, I mean that's going to be a rough one. That's going to be a rough one. I don't think they're going to win their division, but I mean they have wild card worthiness to them. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
a lot of teams in the NFC can make the playoffs just in the wild card because it's weak. The NFC is weak.
And that's what it is. It's like I think they can take it only because you know what I mean. The NFC isn't as strong as you. There's about 4 or 5 teams you got to get by. Once you get by those 4 teams, you can go to the playoffs in the NFC with 9 games.
Maybe
It
8
happened
this
last
year.
year.
Maybe 8
I
this
think
year.
that maybe 8. That's nuts. So I mean, being that they're in the NFC, they'll get that. Will they? Will they end up at anybody's NFC championship? Probably not. Probably not. That defense is just too questionable.
Yeah, it was bad last year too.
Man, I love the Brian Flores hire as defensive coordinator.
No, they
Yeah,
looked better. They
I like
looked
that.
better. They actually looked better. Like Jalen Hurts in the first half was struggling throwing the football. They figured something out. I don't know if they figured something out or the Eagles really don't like.
The Eagles definitely. The Eagles. It was one possession out of the 10 times that
They ran like 10 in a row.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
crazy. It was.
But the
ridiculous.
the first 2 drives, because I was watching the game closely because I had DeAndre Swift in some of the bets that I made last night. The first 2 drives, they didn't run one play. They did not run one play. They came out and passed every play, and then they did the reverse, and they struggled. They
They
struggled.
played to their strength.
Yeah.
was
One thing I have to add about the Vikings, and I'll let you say your take, King. A very interesting, 2 very interesting. One, I want to ask Paris something after this too. Well, first thing I'll go with though is Vikings last year were 11-0 in 1-score games in the regular season. They were 11-1. They lost to the Giants in the postseason, but in the regular season last year, 11-0 in 1-score games. This year, 0-2 in 1-score games. So like, I think to me, it's like their luck's running out. I don't think their defense got any better. Maybe their defense coordinator did. They did look better last night, even though they got ran over. I mean, absolutely ran over. But like King said, that's kind of expected with the Eagles' offensive line. So I got a question for you, Paris. This is interesting. Vikings struggling midway through the season. Would you entertain a Kirk Cousins to the Jets trade?
Oh,
Wow.
Kirk Cousins on
Um,
his last
now,
is one.
now, now,
Let's
here's the
say
thing, right?
they're like let's say the Vikings are 2-7 and they know they're losing Kirk. They know because he's on his last year of his contract. Why not send him to the AFC, to the team
Um,
a quarterback
Wow. I
one,
didn't
away?
even think
okay,
of that.
okay. I don't mean to throw no shade at Kurt, but
Oh
the
man.
AFC is a different ball game. Okay, you come over to the AFC because you grabbed all the guns you got and you ready
So
to get
you're
into a gun.
cool with Zach Wilson for the rest of the year. You're cool with Zach Wilson.
It's
Because
not
they
that
could
I'm cool with
trade for
Zach
Kirk
Wilson.
and not re-sign him. They got
Okay,
A-Rod next
let me
year.
tell you. Okay, so if you want to be honest, who I actually want is Jacoby Brissett. That's the guy for me. Jacoby Brissett, who was remember he was traded right after the Browns signed Deshaun Watson. That was a solid guy for the Browns. He was winning games. Quick, he's mobile. Because one thing about Kirk Cousins is he's not too quick on his feet. You know what I mean? We need somebody that has at least somewhat scramble to him. That's why we kind of got Aaron Rodgers, because Aaron Rodgers he's not a running quarterback, but
He could
he
keep
can
pace.
scramble.
Yeah.
He can scramble when you need him to. He just didn't in that instant. Which okay, we'll talk about that when that comes. But I I think Hurt, if he does fit
So
anywhere, it
you
wouldn't be the
prefer, let me get this straight right now on live, and we might have to clip you.
You
Just
prefer
saying,
yeah. You're gonna have to flip
Jacoby
this.
Brissett.
you prefer Jacoby Brissett over Kirk Cousins for the remainder of your season.
Yes, 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 yes. 100%.
That's our
One,
Monday
because
clip. That's our Monday clip.
Kurt, Kurt, he doesn't fit the Jets the same way Jacoby Brissett does. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't
um,
explain.
we chose to like the same way Aaron chose to build around us. We chose to build around Aaron because Aaron was trusted and he had a VIP, MVP caliber resume.
Mhm.
That was the only reason he came here. Do y'all realize that? You know what I mean? Like we have all the things in place. You know what I mean? We're just looking for either elite or somebody or in home. That's the same, like for the same reason why the Ravens won't go out and go get them a new running back. Zach is kind of already built in. You know what I mean? And that's why I wanted to bring up this Dallas. That's why I can't wait to this Dallas game so y'all can see. One thing I can say is based on this Bills game, he made a couple mistakes at the beginning, but this isn't the same Zach, y'all.
It's not.
Truly, it's
I
not.
agree. I agree with you. I agree.
That's
The little
that
time
He
was
that he
not
had
the
to have
spent,
same
gotten better
the,
with Aaron Rodgers.
the
Had to have taught him some things for
I was about to say
sure.
the
I,
little time that he spent with A-Rod is just a
man.
little. You
I'm
saw it
just
in
like
preseason. You saw it in preseason. Like, yo, he's being smart. He's being methodical.
he's
He's being
yeah. I'm
patient.
just like this
He's not
guy's moving.
rushing.
He's throwing the ball away. Like this isn't the Zach from last year. You know what I mean? And that jive is already there for Kurt to come in. Kurt will now have to learn one. He's used to that one tight end, three receiver set. Not over here. This is two tight ends, two receivers. You got Conklin and Uzama on both sides that are blocking, and one's going to get open. And then you got to worry about Lazard and Garrett Wilson getting busy. You have a lot going on over here. You know what I mean? You don't just have one or two targets.
But he
You
never
have a
had
whole lot more.
he never had a Brees Hall in his career neither.
Never had a Brees Hall. You have. I mean, you
I'm just
now the
saying
one thing
that's a positive.
that the one thing is no, but you did have a Dalvin Cook. You know what I mean? Which is it isn't a Brees Hall. That's like a tier two.
That's true.
You know what I mean? Like
That's true.
no,
He did
I
have I'm tripping. I'm tripping. Dalvin is that he had Dalvin. He had
I
Dalvin.
think
he
I
had
think
Dalvin.
Kirk would
And
fit in
it's
that.
like
I think Kirk would fit in that system well. But
Me too. Because I think Kirk is at his best.
he could
I
play
think
any system. Kirk could play
Yeah, I
any
was gonna say
system.
at his best,
Yeah.
at his best, he's best when he's playing safe. In my
Yeah.
opinion, I just think he's best when he has to be this aerial, oh, I'm elite type quarterback. That's I think where the
He
mistakes
struggles
come
a
in.
bit. He's underrated though. He's underrated.
I think
Could you
he-
imagine it? Could you imagine if Kyle Shanahan got Kirk Cousins? Psh, forget about it.
Let
if
me ask
Kyle
you this.
Shanahan But you know what though? Like I like Kirk, but Kirk is like he's the tier 2 version of him. I would take Derek Carr. That's you know what I mean? Like that's what we were aiming for.
They're both
A guy in
they're
that
both
age
very
bracket.
similar. They're both very similar. I would say
I like
Kirk is
that
a little
hand cannon.
better.
That gunslinger energy. But if I was going to take anybody, it would be Derek Carr over him. You know what I mean? Like it took a while
That's
for
a good
Kirk Cousins.
comparison. That's a good comparison.
It
I
took
like Kirk a
like,
little better, but
Yeah, I like Derek though.
and that was another big thing. It took a while for Kirk Cousins to be the leader of his own team. You know what I mean? We wasn't talking about Kirk 2 years ago. You know what I mean? Like he was a good guy, Kirk Cousins, but we was thinking he was almost out the league a couple years ago. And
yeah,
that's a
they
problem.
were bad. They were bad.
Maybe.
That's a problem. Kirk
Let me
never
ask
really
this.
carried. What's up?
Let me ask this. What and you could take it to the next. I want to say it's the next thing. Um, Dallas or Eagles right now? Who?
Really quick though, King. Do you want any? Because you didn't say any take about the game. You want any? You want to mention anything about last night's
No.
game? Okay.
We can move forward.
Yeah,
'cause
Cowboys
I
or
really
Eagles? Who's the
I
better
like this.
team?
Dallas or Eagles? Who's the better team right now? Just with the little sample that we
I
have,
think it's
and
really clear right
you
now.
can draw.
Actually,
You can draw from last year if you want. You know, I'm just your opinion. Who's the
We're-
better football club right now? Dallas
Um,
or Eagles? Who you taking in the division, win the division, and to get further in the playoffs? Dallas or Eagles?
I got to give it to the Eagles because
Wow.
Dallas hasn't showed an offense yet. They haven't showed anything. Now, granted, we've seen Pollard, and we know Pollard's a baller. Ooh, what was it? 140 yards with 3 first-round draft picks in your offensive line. Dak, come on, baby. We need more out of you for you to be in that realm of a Jalen Hurts. I'm gonna need you to ball a whole lot more than that. You know what I mean? Like now, defensively, that's what I'm saying. Dallas has the better defense, but the Eagles have a relevant defense. I don't know if
By that
Dallas.
you mean what? What do you mean by that? Eagles have a
They can
relevant defense.
they can keep you in a game. You know what I mean? Like if the offense wasn't scoring, you're not necessarily going to get blown out either. But they can keep you in there. You know what I mean? This isn't like now the Dallas. I'll give it to them. They can suffocate you. I don't think the Eagles are capable of suffocating anybody on the defensive side. But I don't think that I haven't. Well, we have to see it first, but I don't think the Dallas can blow anybody out offensively. You know what I mean? That team blew them out defensively. I don't think they can do it. I don't think they can do it. And to be honest with you, the only reason why I'm standing on that is because to come tomorrow, y'all about to find out for yourselves. Dallas can't do that much offensively. They're about to go up against another team
I
that
agree
can
with you.
stop them.
I agree with you. I think
Well,
they
Yeah.
struggled a
you're
little
right.
bit against the
This
Giants.
is a true. This is a true test to see how Dak, because this is gonna reveal
What are
everything
they?
against this Jets defense. It's about to reveal everything for what we could expect from
The
the
rest of the
Dallas
year.
Cowboys offense.
Yeah.
From their offense. Like it's just like, okay, how is Dak about to look against a top of the league, a top of a cream of the crop defense in the New York Jets? If he whatever he displays, whatever it is, it's like, oh, bet I could rely on that for the rest of the season. Period. And in the playoffs, honestly, because the Jets is about to bring a playoff level atmosphere to that game. It's not like they're not playing around. They
Yeah.
turned up right now. You
They
know,
just
so
they just watched y'all blow out
yeah,
another
they turned up. They
last
turned
week
up.
at MetLife. You think they're about to let that happen? No. So
Is
yeah,
that game at MetLife again?
Hold on.
Or it's not,
Is that MetLife?
they play at MetLife twice in a row.
And,
What
and,
the?
and let me welcome our guest, Ty Nation. Thank you for joining the show today. Again, get in the Discord. You got the Discord. How to join the show is in our Instagram stories on our YouTube bio. So just if you want to get in on the topic, definitely do it. Thank you for everybody that's watching. Make sure you comment, make sure you subscribe, and hit that bell so that you get that notification when we live. Ty Nation, who's the better team, Cowboys or the Eagles? Ty Nation.
The Eagles.
Wow, nobody's buying on the Cowboys.
I got the Cowboys, King. It's okay.
The Giants are Saquon Barkley.
Excuse me, not the Giants. I didn't mean to say that. Excuse me.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's
The
who.
Cowboys or the Eagles?
No, that's what I'm saying. That's all the Cowboys have shown us, that
Oh,
the
okay.
Giants is Saquon Barkley, and that's it.
Okay.
I mean, play a real offense and let's see.
Okay.
The Giants have so much to figure out right now. Like you played a team that really was still in their preseason. They're still trying to figure out what they're doing. Of course, you could scrape them. You know what I mean? Like, you haven't showed us anything yet, and that's pretty much where we're at with that. That was.
Hey,
That was
don't go too crazy on the Giants.
Nation, why do you say Eagles, Nation, over Cowboys right now?
I say the Eagles right now over the Cowboys. Just because I think this is the more complete team. Like, I think what everybody's kind of said is, like, Dak is really yet to be seen of what he can actually do against a real defense. You know what I'm saying? I think I like Jalen Hurts, even though I do feel like they needed to move the football a little bit more on that offensive end. But ultimately, like, end of the day, I think Dak still has so much more to prove to me. I think Jalen Hurts and that offense is straight. And I think their defense is solid. So I think they're just a better team all around. I think they're gonna be able to win games.
Touche. Agreed. I agree with that.
Okay.
I agree with that.
Okay. You hear that, viewers? Moving on. What do we got?
You don't got to say in that, King?
I mean, I think look, shoot.
I like Dallas.
I'm just saying, Dallas is just looking great. I'm choosing Dallas right now as a better team right now with the little bit of information that we have to our eyes right now.
I agree.
I know it's only Saquon Barkley. I know they was playing in the rain. New York City
division rival though.
Just that East Coast, that tri-state area, New York City, Pennsylvania, or New York, Pennsylvania, and what's the other state over there? New Jersey. They had a nice little storm over there, and so I know they was playing in a bad situation. But the way when I say Dan Campbell. Not Dan Campbell. That's the Lions head coach. What's the defensive coordinator?
That's my guy, by the way. I like Dan Campbell.
What's the defensive coordinator for the Cowboys? I forget his name, but he got them boys literally like the quarterback can't even. Dan Quinn. The quarterback can't even blink before he got defenders in his face. He can't pass gas faster than defenders can get into his face. Like, I mean, like, I'm trying to figure out. Kirk Cousins had time in the pocket yesterday. Like, he had time. And that's my biggest takeaway is the fact that Dallas don't give you time. They don't give you time. How are we sitting here actually saying the Eagles is better when the Dallas Cowboys defense don't give you time to orchestrate everything you've done all off season, whether it was OTAs, training camp, all of that. Offensively, you might as well just, when you play the Dallas Cowboys, you might as well just rip it up, throw it away, because you're not going to have time to sit there in the pocket and do what you've been working on all off season.
Well, let's hold
Cowboys.
Let's put a pin. Let's put a pin in that because
okay. That's fair.
Daniel Jones does not know a three-step drop and throw. That's not his game, okay? Wait till he gets somebody that's a little bit quicker, and then let's see what they're talking about. Because it's Danny Dimes is still a thinker. You know what I mean? He stops. He wants to marinate in that pocket for a second. Think, okay, now throw. That's not the team to play up against. You know what I mean? But that's why I'm kind of salty to watch Aaron Rodgers go, because that's a guy that can get it out quick. We need to see them go up against. And to be honest with you, I think they would have a hard time with Hurts because of that reason. Because of that reason, you can't just rush them real quick, because he can get it out real quickly. You know what I mean? He can get it out real fast.
I would agree with that if you ain't have Gilmore and Diggs in the back. I would agree with that if you ain't had them dudes in the back. And then you can't run for a scramble because Micah Parsons' 40 time was faster than Jalen Hurts' 40 time. You got one dude running the 4.3, one dude running the 4.5. So I'm just saying here, like.
So do you? I'm saying this because okay, say I'm a quarterback, right? And I would have no problem. I'm looking dead at Stephon Gilmore, knowing that Devontae Smith is on his way out there. I'm still throwing it up. Diggs is out there. I see AJ Brown out there. I'm still throwing it out there.
And so you're taking and that's why we're sitting where we're at
The
right
thing,
now.
This is the thing though. Let me get my little take in on it. So I agree with King and King hyped Dallas up. So I'm gonna tell you, I'm not gonna hype them up no more. I agree with everything King said about the Dallas Cowboys. So I'm not gonna talk about the Dallas Cowboys. I want to talk about the Philadelphia Eagles and why I think the Dallas Cowboys are better. So Philly is not impressing me this year so far. I think they're struggling. They struggled against Mac Jones and the Patriots. They couldn't finish drives. They couldn't score touchdowns against the Patriots. That might be because of Bill Belichick, but we got it. This is a team that moved the ball at will last year. Eagles got a new offensive coordinator. They're still trying to figure it out. They looked shaky. They looked shaky in the first quarter against the Vikings they only scored 3 points in that first quarter last night. If it wasn't for some unforced errors of the Vikings, we might be having a different conversation tonight. But the ground game is always going to be good. They can always, if they can't figure out how to pass well, they can just give it to DeAndre Swift and lean on that offensive line. That's what they did last night. But even the defense looked shaky to me right now too. Mac Jones and the Patriots moved the ball at will last week. They had some unforced errors, fumbles, can't getting fourth and inches. Like, they really could have lost that game last weekend as well. And I'm sitting here watching the Vikings move the ball at will on them last night. So I'm not so saying like the callous. You're right. We don't know how that Dallas offense is going to look, but I'm saying right now, from what I witnessed out of those 3 games, I could definitely see if like Philly and Dallas squared off right now. The Vikings got away with stopping the pass yesterday because they only had to rush 3. They were rushing 3. They were sitting back, and Jalen Hurts couldn't find a place to throw the football. What scares me about that is Dallas not going to have to do that. They're going to rush 4. They're not going to have to blitz. They're going to do the same thing the Vikings did last night, except they're going to get more pressure. They're going to get more pressure, and they're going to stop the run. You're not going to be able to run like that on the Dallas Cowboys.
Dallas do blitz a lot.
I'm saying they're not going to have to. I'm saying if they take some of that.
That's the part of why they get to the quarter. They're blitzing.
They're going to have to.
Correct. King, listen though. These NFL teams have a game plan for specific games. If they look at that tape last night, they are going to see some weaknesses in that Philly offense. I
trust the Eagles O-line to take pride in Dallas only rushing 4 dudes to hold it down. Like, I'm not.
They only rushed 3 last night and was stifling the Eagles early on.
Yeah, but again, it's game by game. That's why it's game by game. We know that. We know the Eagles O-line is top of the league. And with Parrott's last take on this, we'll move on.
I'll tell you what, though, that only works for the first half, and this has happened now twice to the Eagles, and that's the one thing that makes the Eagles
score
defense.
On that Eagles defense right now, man.
That second half on both games, both Kirk Cousins and Mac Jones Swiss cheese that defense.
They did.
Both of them.
The Eagles. The Eagles still
Kirk Cousins completely. he's that team right after. Like they could have won that game. Honestly, I mean, you got to remember that was only a one score split. You know
The
what I mean?
Eagles
They only
could be
beat.
0-2. A couple plays were made by the Vikings and Eagles. They could be 0-2. They are 2-0. It's a winner's game.
Yeah, that's a
Mac Jones and the Patriots had the ball inside the 30-yard line to win the
And they
game.
and what did the Eagles do?
No, they're 2 and
shut him
0.
down.
That's what. But I'm saying if a couple plays were made
They
here or
didn't-
there,
I
you
got
know it's
Dallas. I'm just
football.
saying.
They
I
were
know, but I'm saying it's football. If Justin Jefferson doesn't fumble the ball at the 1 yard, plays can yes, Eagles got the win. Yes, congrats. They're 2 and 0. They are 2 and 0. But if you really go back and watch the game, there could have been plays here or there where they could have lost the game, and that's just both can be true.
And we understood that they had a tougher schedule this year, and so they're getting the blunt of that.
This is the easy part of their schedule.
And we'll move on. We got
Yeah, for sure.
most likely powerhouse to start 0-2. Is it going to be the Chiefs, Bengals, or Bills? Now the Chiefs play those up and I don't say they up and coming. They here, right? The Jacksonville Jaguars is who the Chiefs got week 2. Bengals week 2, they got the Baltimore Ravens with a healthy Lamar Jackson with a new offensive coordinator, and the way they about to try to slice and dice these teams in the league. They got Roshan Johnson on defense. They got a defense still. And then you got the Bills facing off against the Raiders, the Las Vegas Raiders, most likely powerhouse to start 0-2 if any of them do. Just who's the most likely to?
the Bengals. It would be the Bengals. One thing about Josh Allen is Josh Allen makes a mistake and he's the comeback kid. If he makes a mistake 1 week, the next week he's probably going to slay that team. That team's going to be ripped to pieces. I hate to say it for the Raiders, but all they have is really Devontae Adams to throw to. They're really good at the Bills are really good at quarterback pressures, and Jimmy Garoppolo already has a funny angle as we speak. I don't see them taking that game. Now,
the Raiders looked good though. I mean, defensively with Matt Crosby, they stepped up. I know, albeit the Denver Broncos with Russell Wilson, but I trust.
They might not have Devontae Adams though. So
I trust in Sean Payton. But again, the offense though, the Raiders' offense looked decent. But go ahead, Paris.
Like I said, I think it's going to be the Bengals. Only because this is just the Bengals. That we're talking about the only quarterback out of those three that didn't have a preseason nor had an off season with their team. You know what I mean? He does this every year. This is Joe Burrow's. He falls off these first couple of games, and then he somehow brings it back together towards midseason, and then that's when the ball gets to rolling. Last week, T. Higgins went 8 targets for 0 yards. And Jamar Chase only had, I think he walked away with 80 or 90 yards out of that game. That was a rough game for them guys.
It was tough.
And that wasn't playing high-powered secondary, but they are a good secondary. Their defensive line is really where the Browns shine at. The problem is the Ravens that you're taking on actually, like you actually said it best. That is a seriously fast defense. You know what I mean? Them boys are fast enough to get with you. You know what I mean? Not to mention with a team that's so used to running, and I mean, you watched it. I watched it with the Browns. They relied heavily on Mixon to start something up. You're not going to be able to start like that with the Ravens. You're going to have to. It's going to have to be an air raid. You can't.
They lock the run the game down. They do.
They got the run game on lock. So how are you starting this game off then? Are you starting off in the air, or I mean that defense? I honestly think that defense is going to give them a run for their money, and they don't. And the Bengals defense, I don't think they have what it takes. Yeah. See, I don't think they have what it takes to take the Ravens. So I think they're going to have that 0-2 start.
Okay,
I can't remember.
Are you still there, Ty Nation? Because I want to know. I mean, last 3 games, Joe Burrow, I want to say against the Ravens, he averages over 400 passing yards a game over the last 3 games against the Ravens. So, this is a chance for him. But I like what you said. Didn't have any chance to, compete in the off season, especially in training camp where it's most important. Just try to come back on the field and go crazy. Gator, do you have who's your choice?
I'm gonna go with my Super Bowl pick. I got I think the Bengals are the just because, and it's literally only because of matchup.
Both of y'all got the Bengals.
It's
And,
just it's
and
that
it's only
division.
because of the No, it's not even. It's just if I'm really looking at it, the Bills should beat the Raiders. The Jaguars are like the Chiefs' little baby. Like the Chiefs kind of own them. I don't see them winning that game. It just that's the closest of the matchups, and it might be a boring answer, but it's if you want the correct one and the most analytical one. I mean the division rival on the road. Oh well, they're at home. They're at home, and the Chiefs are on the road. I'll still go to the Bengals. I think the Ravens are a tough matchup. Home opener in
Is Kelsey,
Cincinnati,
is
though.
Kelsey back yet?
Home opener in Cincinnati, though.
It's just
Ooh.
me, Gator. It's your inconsistencies. You constantly throw shots at like any chance you get to throw shots at the Ravens, you don't hesitate. You throw them and you don't even.
No, I think the Bengals are gonna win. I'm gonna pick the Bengals to win the game. But if you're saying what's the most likely, if you're saying what's I don't see the Chiefs with Kelsey and Aaron and Jones back. I mean, the Jaguars looked bad last week. Their offense looked good, but Anthony Richardson was cooking them. I like.
No.
Do you
All
know
right.
how many points Patrick Mahomes is about to put up this weekend? That Jags aren't gonna be able to hang.
We'll see. High scoring game possibly on our hands. I think the most analytical answer, and look, guys, don't trash me for this. And don't be surprised if when it happens. I think the most analytical answer is these Bills
I had a feeling
versus
you used
the
to go
Ravens.
there.
The
Wow.
reason why I'm going there, and the
Not
Bills is
in
my Super
Buffalo.
Bowl
Not
pick.
in Buffalo.
Nope.
The Bills are my Super Bowl pick. But if I'm being honest, I'm starting to slowly get a little nervous about my Super Bowl pick in these Bills. The reason why is because when you just go back to last season for
Something's
the
up. Something's
same
up.
things to be happening coming into this season, struggling with the turnovers from Josh Allen. And I said this before.
That's
I
gonna be the
said,
next
yo,
topic. So
when Josh Allen was cooking, like when he was super, like yo, I ain't gonna lie, I used to, and I still do. Look, he has to do a lot for me to take this title away from him. I still call him Clark Kent. I think he is I like to be able to run like that and pass like that. That to me, he just looks. I just call him Clark Kent. Like I just see, when he runs, it's just Superman. When he passes, it's still Superman. But it's
I'm
just
glad
like,
you said that because
but
of
it's
hero ball he plays.
he's the
He
most
plays a lot
talented
of
quarterback in the
hero ball.
NFL.
He
He's
does
the most
play hero
talented
ball.
quarterback in
But
the
this is my
NFL.
point, though. This is my point. When he was cooking, when he was unstoppable, I said this. I said, yo, I think defensive coordinators are still underestimating Josh Allen. And what I meant by that was in terms of they just still haven't figured him out yet. Like when he was destroying, obviously he started the season off last year destroying. Those first 8 games, 10 games in the season last year, he was destroying. Past 3 years, he's been destroying. I think defensive coordinators finally gotta just finally figure something out with him.
We'll see.
You don't come from last season to this season when you know the reasons why I got eliminated was because of your superhero play. You trying to be, bigger than the game, and not bigger than the game. You're just playing, you're just like hero ball. You're playing hero ball on literally every possession, every snap, and it was working for a long time. But when it started to falter towards the end of the season last season, and in the playoffs and in the postseason, you would think adjustments would be made. And then he comes into this season, albeit the Jets defense,
And loses
still
to
struggling,
Zach Wilson.
still
Well,
struggling with turnovers. And
it's
all
something
I'm
very interesting, right? I just want to bring this up real quick, and this was said by Jeff Ulbrich, which is our defensive coordinator, and he was saying like it's not the fact that like you can set up a plan for Josh Allen, but the hardest thing to guard against Josh Allen is not the initial play, but it's the breakdown and the extra play that comes after. Like there was a play with DJ Reed where Stephon Diggs did he faked a go route and he seen that that Josh Allen was getting rushed. So he faked the go route and then he cut back just to be open just for Josh. And he completely cooked DJ Reed after that. You know what I mean? So right after that, they had like a play. It was like a couple of downs later. DJ Reed, right after he did that go route, he kept his eye on Stephon Diggs because that's kind of the main killer. Is anytime you think Stephon Diggs is going for a complete out route, he'll stop at any given second, turn around, and is always looking for that ball. That's the hard thing is that overall what I'm saying is Josh Allen and Diggs have an insyncness. And whenever you get that out of a quarterback and a wide receiver, that will always be a violent duo. Always. And that's the hard thing to guard against. It's never just his initial play. It's that second play. No one ever designs plays for the second part of an offense. They always, okay, you know what I mean? Here's our Tampa 2 or our cover 2 or cover 3, and this is how it breaks down.
Yeah, it's play Josh Allen's playmaking, extending the play.
That extending plays is most defensive. I don't think there's a single defensive coordinator that really gears up for that.
That's when he struggles, though. That's when he struggles. That's where his turnovers come from.
Coming from right now.
Hero ball.
Ended, and the way the season is starting,
I'm gonna switch the topic, King, since we're talking about it. I'm gonna go literally right into it.
Go ahead. Yeah, move it along. Move it along.
It's the same. No, because it's the same topic, basically.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just like it's my whole thing is it's like, boy, every time he gets the ball out quick, he looks great. Josh Allen turnovers. Is it becoming a real problem in Buffalo?
And let me add a stat to that, too. Since 2019, Josh Allen has 82 turnovers. That is the most by any quarterback in the NFL.
Mill?
At one point in time, Brett Favre used to be the most high turnover quarterback in the league. I don't base your greatness on it. You know what I mean? Because of the simple fact that good hero ball consists of a lot of interceptions before you get to the touchdown. And it's like I don't know if we can gauge guys like that on their interceptions. You know what I mean? Because you got to remember what's his red zone completions? You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like I would think that was probably a high number too. You know what I mean? Like
the Bills had the most turnovers in the red zone last year, I believe. His turnover ratio equates to 16 a season. That's a lot, just by him alone. Wow. It's a lot.
Ouch.
And they've been winning through it, but now it's starting to. So I'm just, is it becoming a problem?
I think it's a confidence issue. Did you see that interview the other day?
Or is it nothing? Or is it nothing and they'll be fine?
No, I think it's a big issue. I think it's a confidence thing too.
I think he's in the wrong division to be doing high turnovers. You know what I mean? Like,
he's got to get out of this rut. It's a confidence.
Yeah, he's got to get out of this rut.
Just the way he's talking about himself, it looks like he has zero. He said same shit, different day the other day in that interview. Like it's expected of him to make bad decisions. Like he really took full blame, but it looked like he looked deflated after that post game.
Let me ask this: is it a rut, or is it?
I think it's a rut.
Or is it him getting figured out?
No, I think it's a rut because he wasn't always like this. There was times of brilliance where he had a good stretch of games where he wasn't turning the ball over and really looked like he might have won like MVP. Like you said, those first 8 games last season, like we know he's capable of not turning the ball over. But when they come, they come in waves. It's 3 a game, 2 a game. Like He's either gonna throw no interceptions or he's gonna throw 3 or 4. Like they come in waves. So we know
I
he
think
has
it's
the ability to. I think personally, Josh Allen is the most talented quarterback in this league. I think he has the tangibles. He's got the arm strength, the agility. I think he could even have the potential to be better than Patrick Mahomes if he cuts down these turnovers. Like I think that's the kind of talent he has, but he's shown just to be like a barely making a top 3 now. Like we're in that conversation where like we might put Joe Burrow and other quarterbacks above him. Like he really could fall out of that
yeah.
echelon. Like
His decision making is sus right now.
very sus. He really said same shit, different day. He said to reporters like, "This is a normalcy now. Like this is me now." Like he really admitted like, "Same shit, different day." Like with me, like he looks like he has no confidence right now. Zero.
I don't want to judge him because he played the Jets, right? This isn't talking about my
week
team.
one matchup. Tough week one matchup. I took the Jets to win that game.
My boy has never scored. I ain't gonna lie.
We can't go there. We can't go there.
He's never scored over 20 on us.
We've seen great quarterbacks. When you talk about
Now he struggled against them last year though. There's some teams that just have your number.
But if we're putting
Earls
him in
with Brown.
echelon, if we're putting him in the upper echelon, you got to do it against any defense.
No, King, but like there's just some teams. There's some like the Packers could never beat the Niners in the playoffs. They just couldn't do it. They were the better team.
The Bears
can't do it.
The Bears can't beat the Packers.
The Ravens are struggling to hold Joe Burrow, but then Joe Burrow can't beat the Browns. You know, Joe Burrow was 3-0 against Kansas City. It just happens. Sometimes
I don't know how to explain it. Yeah,
it's just weird like that. It's just weird. And that's the
never
Jets.
lost
The Jets.
ever.
The Jets beat them
We have
bad
his
last
number.
year. They do. They have his number. So I'm
So
gonna
it's
give him
like,
a pass
I
on
can't
that.
really
But
say-
I know what
yeah.
you're saying. I know what you're saying. You got to ball out against anyone.
So then,
I understand what you're saying though.
Yeah, I
We'll
don't like all
revisit
this. He got your number thing.
We'll revisit this on
No,
Monday.
it's true though, Ty. It's true though, especially in the NFL. It's true, man.
And we all agree that he plays a mediocre team on Sunday. And so we going
I'm expecting a big game. I'm expecting a bounce back game. A very no turnovers, 3 touchdowns. That's what I better see. That's what I better see.
We'll be back to this on Monday. Ty, before we move on to the next topic, any closing closing take on this? Josh Allen turnovers, is it becoming a real problem? Is he in a funk or is he being figured out?
I don't got too much to say on it other than I just think a quarterback at that caliber, like, take care of the ball. Like at the end of the day, I know
100%, yeah.
sometimes we look at it's other great quarterbacks with high turnover. I'm like, at the end of the day, you're the quarterback. Take care of the football and get your team to a win. Like if it comes to you making poor decisions and kind of shooting your team out of the opportunity to actually get a win, like we got to really question your credibility as a quarterback. I can get it. You can be as talented as you want to. But at the end of the day, like,
your decision making is sus. Yeah,
I agree. Good point.
that's a great point. I agree.
Got to get that clipped in on social media. Next topic. What do we got next, Gator? What are we talking about here? I think this is a juicy
NFL
one.
quarterback is the most disrespected.
Yeah.
we got to take care of it, yo. Take care of it.
Kirk Cousins.
Kirk Cousins is so.
I agree with that. That Kirk Cousins. No one likes Kirk Cousins. He's a really good quarterback.
He's such a good dude, but it's like, I mean, people don't even view him as like a playoff caliber guy sometimes. It's like, but why
Which
not?
is crazy to me. He's a really good quarterback.
It's not crazy.
See, look, you just did it just now.
To me, I won't say yesterday.
You're disrespecting him right now.
Yesterday wasn't empty stats. Yesterday it wasn't empty stats. Yesterday his team turned the ball over a lot. Alexander Madison fumbled. They fumbled on Justin Jefferson fumbled and touchback. So yesterday I won't put on him, and he put up high marks. But to me, a lot of his career is empty stats, man. That's just what every time they're down, and he always pulling them back. It's because teams are playing back. You got situations where his stats were high, and they still. It's too many games where his stats were good and they lose. I'm tired of that, and you can't say it's entirely because of the defense, because it's games where
No,
the
it's
score
not.
is like it's like weird games where, especially when they had during the when they was defensive. I forget the head coach that they had. But even it was weird games where Kirk Cousins
He had
threw
Adam
for like
Thielen at his number one, though. He had
it was
Adam
weird
Thielen at
games.
his number one.
It was
How
weird
many
games.
games?
It was weird games where Kirk Cousins threw for over like 280, 300 yards, and the final score would be like 14-16. Like how you where did these numbers come? How did y'all just didn't get
He
in the
was
end
he
zone?
was getting a dog fights, but then again, that brings it back to the same question that was asked a lot last year. How many games did Kirk Cousins have to win for us to say, okay, he's legit? Because like he said, he won
Last year, keep it 100.
11-0.
Let's
11
keep it
and
100. In his career, when you look at his career, consider his career. Last year was an anomaly.
yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
not true. That's not true, King. But
Let's talk about give me some wins then. Give me some winning seasons he's had.
Hold on. Yeah, I gotta look at it.
well, I'm going just back from the last 3 years. In 2020, I'll go look at the wins for these years after that. But in 2020, he threw for 4,200, 35 touchdowns,
This
13
is what we talking
interceptions.
about. Empty stats. I already addressed the empty stats. That was my take to start.
Well,
And that's his
the Vikings have always been in the running since he's been on the Vikings.
Yes, they've been in the running, but what's the running? This is a grown man league, or are we just having fun? I'm saying the number one
That's not
question,
all his fault though.
the number one question around Kirk Cousins' name his entire career has been empty stats,
That's not all his fault though.
and I don't
He was
necessarily
throwing to
disagree with
bums
that.
before Justin Jefferson. He's never had a true number one until Justin Jefferson. His whole career,
That's
he's
a
never
good
had a
point.
true number one.
Nah, he had Diggs for like 4 years. He had Diggs for 4 years.
No, that was Case Keenum. Case Keenum was the
No.
quarterback.
Okay, so he had Diggs for 3. He had Diggs.
No,
Like,
he
had
didn't.
Diggs.
Stephon Diggs had played for the Bills for 3 seasons.
Yep.
Maybe
let's go
4.
to Kirk Cousins never had Diggs. Wait, this is Justin Jefferson's
No, I didn't
third
say
year?
never. I didn't say never. I think he played with him for 1 year.
If he had him for 1 year, and then literally the very next season, Justin Jefferson was a rookie and had 1,400 receiving yards. So, like, because yes, exactly.
Okay.
That was the
So-
first time ever, though.
they
That was the
traded-
first
He
time
had-
ever. We're
he
talking
had
about 10
Diggs.
seasons into his
Time out.
career.
Let me just say, hold on, time out. He had Diggs, and
Two
then
seasons.
he had Diggs, and then the very next season, because they traded Diggs and drafted Justin Jefferson, who had 1,400 receiving yards his rookie season. So he went from Diggs to Justin Jefferson, smooth transition. I don't want to hear that he didn't have receivers. Don't give me that. Don't give me that. Don't give me that. Sorry, you can't have that one. You cannot.
Bro, the Vikings. You can't be. The Vikings defense has never been good since he's been on that team. Like, I just looked at a stat. The New Orleans Saints in 2020 scored 52 on the Minnesota Vikings. Like if you really look at these scores, like he's really putting points on the board. And like, how do you lose? Like, there's 30-point games that they have and they're losing. Like, that's just not acceptable.
And he's never had below a 36, like a 3,600.
He has no fucking help. I feel so bad. This is why that was the perfect answer to that question. Who is the most disrespect? So name a quarterback more disrespected than Kirk Cousins.
My quarterback is, and so I mean, both of y'all say Kirk. My quarterback is the most disrespected is Tua. He's getting a lot of love
Nobody's
right now.
talking shit about Tua.
Bro,
People still talk shit about Kirk Cousins.
This is what I mean by disrespect with Tua. He might be elite, y'all. He might be cream of the crop.
I love Tua.
No.
And I'm see exactly.
I love
No.
Tua. I like
Tua
Tua
was a-
more than Jalen Hurts.
Nobody-
I like
and
Tua
all
more
I-
than Jalen Hurts. I said it here
All I
first.
hear,
I like
No.
Tua better than
all
Jalen
I
Hurts.
hear is the reason why he's doing this because he got Cheetah. The
No.
reason why he's doing it is because he got the
Got
penguin.
Waddle.
But
Yeah.
nobody's saying
He had a quiet, good rookie year.
Nobody says that Joe Burrow arguably got, in my humble opinion,
Best
Jamar
receiving
Chase is
corps.
going to prove this year that he's the best wide receiver in the NFL. T. Higgins, who is a number one on literally almost any other on 90% of football teams in the NFL, is another number one. Tyler Boyd is a legit number two on any NFL team. Like, nobody says that for Joe Burrow. All we do with Joe Burrow is put him. You got some people put Joe Burrow over freaking Patrick Mahomes. You legit got people out there that place Burrow over Mahomes, and those don't say nothing about his receiving core. But the second this kid gets a nice receiving core, it's because of them. And all I'm saying is, you heard what he said in training camp to those reporters when he ran off that play, and that play sounded like he was talking a whole nother language. And like, he is a smart ass quarterback, brother. Like, he is really smart. He knows what he's doing. He knows the reads that are out there. Like, he's not like,
Here,
he knows the reads and fully
that
understands the reads. He
okay.
might be up top. I'm saying up here, up top, he's elite.
Here's the thing, right? When
Tua-
Tua went out with a concussion, the Dolphins was still a high-powered offense without him.
That's not true.
They were losing though.
Exactly.
They were
That's what I'm
still
saying.
like
They almost beat the Bills.
my
They
point.
almost beat the Bills.
This is my point. Empty stats. Yes, you're right. The stats were still there, but you can tell
They
they
weren't.
weren't.
They weren't. They were not. It wasn't like that. It wasn't. If you look at Tyreek Hill's numbers without Tua, it's way lower. Way lower.
But I know what you mean. But I'm just saying. Tua don't only do empty stats. Tua knows how to win games. He understands the complexity of winning football game, coming out as on top. Before he got hurt, I want to say they were like 8-4, 8-3. Like, he was legit winning. And so it's just like, this Mike McDaniel, Cheetah, Penguin, Tua arsenal is really, to me, is really catching my eye as Tua being a guy that we need to start. If I said right now Tua is a top 5 quarterback, y'all would look at me crazy. And would that not warrant him?
I wouldn't look at you crazy. Top 10, I would say. It's fair.
Would that not warrant?
I think he's like 7 or 8.
Would that not warrant him being the most disrespected quarterback in the league? He before we top 5 to me.
Kirk Cousins is way more disrespected. Way more.
Top 5 to me. Top 5 to me. Tua is top 5.
okay, let me see.
He's lying, by the
Patrick.
way. He didn't have him top 5 in his quarterback ranking.
Did it? But I'm saying,
Patrick.
my mind could change, and it did.
It's
That's
not.
okay.
It's no room for him in the top 5.
See, that's what I'm saying. But why?
That's not disrespect. If you're a top 10 quarterback, that's really good.
Christian, Gator, if you was a top 5 quarterback, and somebody sat there and told you, nah, it ain't no room.
Yeah,
for
but
you,
he's not. If it was true, I would agree with you.
Disrespect. I think
I agree. I agree. He's disrespected. Listen,
Okay.
I agree with you that he's disrespected, just not as much as Kirk Cousins. Both can be true.
Go ahead, Neil.
It's like this,
Name.
right?
What's the names you was gonna put over?
Because like there's the guy that I think of that's like really is disrespected, and no one gives him benefit of the doubt, even though this guy has 4,000-yard seasons left and right, without any of the extra firepower or anything like that. And I think he is a better quarterback than Tua, but he's not in that top 5, and that's Derek Carr. Derek Carr is
I wouldn't say
firefighter.
people hate him though. No, people look over him, but I wouldn't say disrespect.
People look over him.
When we say disrespected, that we're talking about look over, Christian, Gator. That's what we're talking about right now.
No, that's part of it, but I'm saying like when it comes to this, like people are really out here saying Tua is ass, Kirk Cousins is ass. No one's saying Derek Carr is ass. Like no one's really thinking about Derek Carr.
No. First of all,
we're saying that Tua was ass.
People are saying Tua is ass. People are saying Tua is ass. People are saying that Tua is a product of Tyreek Hill. That's what people are saying, for sure. That's why I kind of agree with King on that aspect. People think Tua can't ball.
Tua just didn't know how to run the ball himself. without doing it safely. You know what I mean? Like Tua ran like a running back,
It
and
wasn't really that.
offense got
His
concussions
offensive line got he got concussed just because of offensive line play. I never saw him get knocked out of a game by running the football. It was literally just a hit to the head, just gone, like done. Their
over the
offensive line was
summer.
bad last year.
Over the summer, he had to take classes. Y'all can look this up. He had to take classes
That's
on
crazy.
how to slide. He had to learn how to slide.
Oh yeah, his
over
slide
the
is
summer.
awkward. No, his slide was
His
awkward.
slide was
His
shit.
slide was
I don't know if y'all remember that.
That's true. That is true. I do remember that.
Remember he had to take classes on that over the summer because it was
That
like,
is
ooh,
true.
that
That is
first
true.
slide. Yeah, and that was the biggest thing that got me with Tua. Is like, dude, you are not a
I'm
running back.
excited to watch that Miami team this year. I really love that team. They are fun to watch. We got
I'm ready.
We got
I'm
NFL
ready to
power
win.
rankings.
Mill, top 5 NFL teams right now.
Top 5.
We're gonna do 10. I got a graphic for this, so give me a second to pull these
10?
up.
Okay, we got a graphic.
We gotta do it. We gotta do it. So
the production is getting better.
So we're going based off week 1. We're going based off week 1. I got the preseason power rankings on top there, because you know because we not making our own list. We're doing how the power ranking. You know, you can't move a team from 32 to 1.
No, Gator. We gotta be able to do our own list, dog.
We are doing our own list. Listen to me though. We gotta base it off the preseason rankings. We can't make a team 32 go to 1. They gotta climb that ladder. A team that's 32 can't go to 1.
Tell somebody their power rankings, Gator. This is under big dogs, where you get to do what the heck you want to do in terms of what you believe. Where you going to tell somebody what their power rankings are?
No, you're gonna make you're gonna make your own power rankings, but make them make sense to the preseason polls.
What makes sense, Mill?
To the preseason polls.
What make Gator? Look. We first of all, the production is amazing. Thank you for the production, and we're continuing to grow on the production. Thank you for the tech. However, get that preseason NFL power ranking.
Gotta be there, man. It's gotta be there because that's what the power rankings are. We could say what our top 5 teams.
But the whole point of under big dogs is whoever made these NFL preseason power rankings, that's them. The fans need their own take too.
That's why I'm giving you a power ranking. That's why I'm giving you a voice. But make it. You cannot say that like the Giants are in their top 10. You got to make it realistic. That's what I'm saying.
Do that. But if somebody do that, then we know it's funny. And so you don't gotta. That goes.
All I'm saying is don't throw the Green Bay Packers in your top 10 because they 1-0. Like,
and that's what we disagree. Why can't somebody believe?
Okay,
in the Packers?
do it. It's not gonna make sense.
And because if they finish top 10, then it's like, wow, under big dogs restricted me for saying that. Like,
I mean,
no. Last thing I'll say about this
is
the
Packers in my top 10.
There's a difference. There's a difference between your top 10 teams and a power ranking. Power ranking teams have to move up and down throughout the season based on their play.
Power rankings are fluid. You can have whoever you want. Power rankings are.
It's your power rankings. Do what you want. But you could. But I got a graphics. I got a graphic on the side in case you want to make sense. If you want to look at the graphics, the Chiefs were 1. So the Chiefs aren't falling out of the top 10. That's all I'm saying. Just because they lost the game.
All I'm saying they was out of the top. They could be out of the top 5. But go ahead. No,
well, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Your top 10 power ranking teams, Mill. If you need to go to your phone and look at the teams.
I'm gonna start off this. This is about to be crazy. There's gonna be a lot of people that don't agree with me because who the quarterback is, but who's actually in my number 1 team to watch is San Fran. People don't like it because Baker's in there, but boy,
that's gonna be number 1. That might be number 1 or 2 on majority of our list.
That's a very even looking team. I didn't think Baker was gonna make out like that.
You're talking about Brock Purdy.
Huh? Okay, Brock Purdy. I'm sorry. But I am putting Tampa in my top 10 though. I think that's a team to look out for. That's a high-powered offense. I don't know why Baker.
Who do you got at 2?
49ers at.
Okay.
Let's do the list, and if you want to talk about a specific team and explain why, we'll give you the floor to do that. So let's just try to get the 10 done.
All right.
So what you
So
got at 2?
starting off, yeah, I'm taking the 49ers with Brock Purdy. After that, I'm going with the Chiefs.
Okay.
Because the Chiefs are capable. The Chiefs are capable. Yeah. I mean, Kadarius Tony's a joke, but once Travis Kelce gets back,
Get your
y'all still got y'all
get
still got
your
to
10 in
answer for
there.
that duo, huh?
Get your 10 in there, and we'll definitely ask the
Okay.
question.
Okay. Number 3. See, this one's a hard one because I'm thinking.
Go to your phone. You could definitely go to your phone. Look at it. We got
Yeah, the top 10 from the preseason is on the stream right now. So if you want to move teams up and down, that's what normally a power ranking is. That's why it's there for reference. You don't have to put them in there. It's just for reference.
Okay.
Stephen A. didn't have Kansas City in his top 5. They ain't not.
Okay.
We're not doing top 5. If you ask him, he'd probably say 6 or 7. No.
Okay.
They might be out of my top 5. I don't know.
So number 3 for me would be the Eagles. Only because I like that defense looked like it could be picked apart at any given time. I don't know what they are yet.
So the Eagles are 2-0 and they dropped to 3. Okay.
Yeah. Honestly, because I mean I was expecting them to blow at least one of these teams out, and they didn't. You know what I mean? Like this is
Fair
supposed to be
enough.
the
Fair enough.
this is supposed.
Fair enough.
Yeah. 4, which I really don't want to give it to them. Is the Miami Dolphins. I'd rather put my Jets there, but yeah, the Dolphins are just nuts. 5 would definitely be the Cowboys. With a defense like that, you got to give it to them. Now, as far as my 6 through 10, I'm not sure who in that ranking order list. I know I would put the Jets there, the Chargers there, the Bengals there.
In that order?
No.
That's why I feel like we
Okay.
should do top 5, but I mean, because we're gonna post this and get you and tag you, so we want to try to get it in. But that's why I said top 5 would have been top 5 power rank. That's perfect. Make people drag it to 10. That's tough.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that though. Get them in there. Get your top 10 in there.
I think you need to earn a top 5 spot. I think a top 5 spot says a lot about your football team.
Yeah, a top 5 is
Like
that's hard to go for.
But okay.
So yeah, that would be my top 5. It would be starting off. It would be the 49ers.
Kansas
Then it would
City.
be the Chiefs. Then it would be the Eagles. Then the Dolphins, and then the Cowboys.
Okay.
That would be my top 5. And then Jets at 6. I'm just saying that because I got to. My boys at 6.
Okay.
But yeah, that's definitely my top 5.
Okay, Gator.
I got the Niners at 1, Cowboys at 2.
Change it around so you can get your post, so you get your so get that posted for you.
I got Niners, Cowboys, and then
got Niners and Cowboys 1 and 2. Wow, Cowboys big jump
up there. Way up
I got the Eagles at 3, all NFC teams. I got the Chiefs at 4. I will put the Dolphins at 5. I got the Ravens at 6.
This is what I'd be talking about with
the
you.
Bengals at 7.
That's a good one.
Bengals at 7. I got the Bills at 8.
Bills at 8. Got a couple losing teams in here.
The Chargers at 10, and then I will put the Jaguars at 9.
How many losers you got in here? 1.
Okay, I have 2 questions about your power rankings.
I'm basing it off the preseason ranking. So I'm moving teams down based on how they perform.
I got 2 heavy questions.
And moving teams up based on how they looked.
1, based on your power rankings, it sounds like you're saying the NFC is better than the AFC. I need to hear you say that.
the top 3 teams in the NFC won. The top 3 teams in the AFC lost. So after week 1, that this list is gonna change weekly. Some teams are
Okay,
gonna look
okay, okay,
better.
okay.
That's why I'm saying for right after week 1, based on the top 10 list that I have, and I'm moving teams up and out. I basically. Oh, I missed the team. I'm sorry. And Chargers are out of the 10. Chargers are out of the 10. We gotta move the Detroit Lions up a little bit. We'll put the Detroit Lions at 8, Jacksonville at 9, and the Bills just look bad. I'm putting them at 10.
Okay. All right. Cool. Now that you put the Bills lower, because I was like,
I
you
forgot
put
about
the
the
Chargers.
Lions. We gotta put Chargers are 11. They still look good. It was a very close game. It was a very close game against Miami.
How do you feel about Gator having the Jets outside of the top 10?
I was thinking that because it's like actually there's at least 3 or 4 teams in your list that I know we thumb. We already beat.
I'll tell you
what I'm
why.
saying?
I'll tell you why real quick. The Jets are out of my top 10 because they won the game, but they lost the game too. In my eyes, I think they got worse losing Aaron Rodgers. That's just. They weren't in the preseason top 10. I'm not feeling strong enough to get them there. I'm basing it off the preseason rankings. You don't have to. Like I said, I'm going it off the preseason rankings and what I would have ranked the teams in the beginning of the year. And I'm going to move them up and down. One win doesn't move you 10 spots. It doesn't move you 10 spots in the power ranking.
And this is what Gator, this is why I love this show, because we get to just talk it out. This is what you fail to freaking realize, dude. One big thing you failed to realize, this is the National Football League. It's fluid every year. This is nothing new. This is not tennis where Coco Gauff could win the U.S. Open, but she's not the number 1 ranked girl in the world.
No, but that's what the power rankings are.
This is not that. This is the NFL.
I don't think the Bengals.
Any given Sunday.
King. I do not think the Bengals are better than the Ravens. But I'm gonna move the Bengals down for how they looked week 1. For sure.
This is the point that I'm telling you though.
This is not this is not your top 10 teams in the NFL. It's not your top 10 teams in the NFL. If you want to go about it that way, do it. That's not how it is. I think the Bengals are better than I think the Bills are better than the Lions.
This is my whole thing.
But I got them lower than them in the power rankings.
This is my whole thing though. Let's keep it realistic. This is not realistic.
That's a realistic shot.
We should be categorizing it based on the best teams in the National Football League. Teams shouldn't have to earn a spot if they're better than another football team. Like these Green Bay Packers to me, and I agree with Mill. These Green Bay Packers defense, every year Aaron Rodgers got mad because they kept drafting another defender, and then another defender, and then another defender, and then another defender. Well, look at it right now. And how that defense is looking legit right now.
It's solid.
They looking like some dogs right now on that end.
Hey, you can put anybody in your power rankings. Because we're gonna probably do this every week. I want to make sure I have my list so I know who's falling out of it in the future.
I need to understand how you ranked the Bengals over the Jets when we had a better offensive game than them. And a better defensive game.
Because I don't believe the Jets did enough in that game to put them in the top 10. They were outside of my top 10 before, so they got to do more to get in there. If they win 2-3 games,
points? How about this?
But the power rankings aren't a week thing. The power rankings are not a 1 week thing. It's just not.
No,
they haven't done enough.
It's an analytical thing though. Like you got to bring analytics into it. You can't just not put a team over. If your analytics is telling you one thing, like, yo, that team is better than that team, you can't say, but I'm not going to put them over them in the rankings, though.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm going to do. Then I would have the Bengals at 6. I think the Bengals are better than the Ravens. I think the Bengals are better than the Ravens. But the Bengals, the Bengals started at 8 in my preseason rankings and they got a dub, so I'm gonna move them up 2 spots. Respectfully, the Bengals looked really bad, so I'm gonna drop them from 3 to 7. That's respectable.
I just don't understand how they haven't showed you enough because it's like, okay,
it's one game. It was one game. Like you
It
can't.
was against Clark Kent, Superman, Josh Allen.
It was, yeah.
It was
They
against
played
the
Their
Browns.
offense is gonna struggle. You better win that 6-3 game against Dallas this weekend. Then, if they beat Dallas, they'll be in the top. They'll be in my top. They'll make the top 10. They beat Dallas this weekend. I'll put them
That's
at
crazy.
7.
You almost said top 5. I wish you would have
Yeah,
said it.
top 5.
Look,
Top 5's too much.
What I'm
That's too
saying
far.
is
That's
this.
too far.
They're
That's
We
too
got-
far. I got
Okay.
them at like 13th in my power rankings right now. If I did a
The-
full 32 list, they'd probably be between 10 and
They're
15.
not going to be. They're not.
The
gonna
only
be
reason we're getting held to that is because of Zach Wilson.
That
Outside of Zach Wilson,
is Zach Wilson could show me he can score some points next week or the week after, and you string up 2 or 3 wins, they'll be in my top 10. There's no hate. There's no hate. There's no hate. They're just not one of the top 10 teams in the NFL right now.
I'm going to make this quick. I'm only going to give a top 5, and I'm going to make this quick. My number 1 team is the Dallas Cowboys. Look, this is my Super Bowl choice. I'm going to just leave it there. That, like, I think everybody's seen what they're capable of is in terms of just getting to the quarterback. Number 2, I'm looking at the Baltimore Ravens as my number 2 team in the NFL. Right now, undoubtedly, healthy Lamar Jackson, healthy O-line, healthy receiving core, and Roshan, the linebacker, my dude too. He just came from the Bears. I forget his name. Big best linebacker in the NFL. Defense is daunting. Number 2 is the Ravens. My number 3 team is the 49ers. Top to bottom, they look stacked. That don't look fair. 49ers. Number 4 is the Philadelphia Eagles. Philadelphia Eagles, they're giving me that vibe that they're going to figure out a way to win week by week. We're not going to like it. We're not going to think it's pretty. We're going to always question them. But I just think they're going to always end up on the winning side of things. My number 4 team is the Kansas City Chiefs. Mahomes. I'll just leave it there. Yes, I hate that they keep taking his weapons away from him, and that's why I got them at 5. Like, to give him no run game, to give him no receiving core, all he out there is with is Travis Kelce. Like, that's just like, yeah, he's amazing. He's the best quarterback that I've ever seen in my eyes, but to just blatantly just give this guy nothing, like to continue to take his receivers away from him, Juju Smith they took away from him. It's like y'all just doing too much, man. And so I think that's going to try to bite them in the butt. Obviously, come playoff times, I'm going to feel a different type of way. Going into the playoffs with Mahomes, I'm going to always have him, but Mahomes...
Give just because it's me and you, give the rest. Guess we'll do top 5, but for me and you, I want to see how our list changes throughout the year. So give another 6.
Okay,
because next week you're going to be basing your rankings off this ranking that you have right now.
Real quick, I got at 6, I got the Bills. At 7, I got the Green Bay Packers. At 8, I got the Jets. At 9, I have the Dolphins. At 10, I have the Patriots.
Mm-hmm.
That's
I hate to say it, but I would love
out. Wait. I just want to make so you're leaving out Jacksonville and Detroit.
Absolutely, yes.
You're leaving out
absolutely
Detroit.
Jacksonville. Jacksonville's not top 10. Detroit though.
I love Detroit.
Just because this is our first one, I just want to make sure you're not missing somebody. So you're leaving out the Steelers. You're leaving out Seattle. Yes. You're leaving out Detroit. You're leaving out. You're leaving out Cleveland. You're leaving out Cleveland got to be in there, right?
What I seen from the Patriots.
How's Cleveland get put in?
And forgive me.
How dominant they looked against
Cleveland might deserve to be in it, but with the Patriots, I'm telling y'all right now, New England Patriots
and the Bengals are not in there either.
You know how I feel about the Bengals, and they proved it to me just this past Sunday. So I'll just leave it at that.
So the Browns are. This is your list. Browns don't squeak in over one of those last couple teams.
Browns 11.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's me sticking to your logic, power ranking logic right there.
No, that's fine. I think moving the Ravens up from 8 to 2 is crazy, but
no, that's not crazy.
the Niners' strength of victory was way better than the Ravens.
That's how I've been felt about the Ravens, though. You know that.
So you would have had them. You would have had the Ravens at like the 2 in the power rankings to start the season. You're saying.
Correct. Exactly.
Okay,
Basically.
so that's fine. I'm cool with this as long as you now use that list the rest of the season. I'm cool with that.
I use that. See different things as the year go on.
That's that. Yeah. No, yeah. But like, I don't want.
See it. It's fluid.
I don't want the Bengals or the Browns all of a sudden number 2 next week. Make it make sense.
It's my point. If the Browns do what they did again,
That's just that's a little inconsistent of a power ranking, but
you got it. I want to see.
hey,
what
you
the
do
Browns
you.
did
You do you. You're the analytical
What the
person.
Browns did to Joe Burrow. Forgive me that I want to. Who just came off a calf injury. Who didn't do any preseason, who didn't do any training camp. Forgive me if I want to see it one more time before I put them. Forgive me.
And we'll talk about your Jets now. Your favorite team here. Are the Jets? Is the Jets season done without A-Rod?
Negative. That is completely.
Are you saying that as a fan? Do you really believe you guys got a shot?
And this is what we got to do, Mill.
We gotta
because I'm ready for this.
We gotta take our
fan.
We gotta take our fan cap off.
We know that
fan cap off.
But
fan cap
we need
off.
your 100%. We need your analytical hat on right now.
Okay, y'all ready for this?
How do they win the AFC title?
Do they win the AFC? I don't think we have what it takes to win. I think we have wild card written all over us. One, because whether it's realized or not, we do have one of the top like running back cores, underrated running back cores.
Wouldn't that mean your season is over though? If you have no faith in them getting to the Super Bowl, wouldn't that technically mean you believe your season is over?
No. I don't mean that because it's a lot of people.
Is it not Super Bowl or bust?
No, it's a lot of people. It's a lot of people writing them off as a playoff team.
So should we change this? Should we change the question around? Are the Jets a playoff team?
Yes, 100%. Yes.
I think that's a better question then.
Yes, one because you're not going to find too many throughout this season. You're not going to find too many teams that's just going to just be able to walk into the MetLife and just whoop us easily. You know what I mean? Granted, we did lose a quarterback, but we still have 52 other players that are very, very much ready to get out there and ball. Here's the thing, right? That same very Dolphins team that we're talking about, we smacked them with just a running game alone. You know what I mean? That was with Breece Hall by himself. You know what I mean? With Dalvin Cook and Breece Hall, we have a pretty strong backfield. Now, that was the one thing that Nathaniel Hackett was saying, that they're going to have to shift their air raid offense to more of a running back style situation. I like that. We have 2 running backs back behind Dalvin Cook and Breece Hall, Michael Carter, and the one guy I can't really pronounce his name. It's like Alan DeCampo or something like that. We have what it takes as far as beating teams. You know what I mean? It's more so boils down to us not beating ourselves. Zach Wilson has one of the best quarterback coaches in his corners in the world. With Aaron Rodgers there back behind him, I think that they have what it takes to get games won. Now, I'm not expecting them to blow teams out, but the thing is, there's a whole lot of teams that I don't think will may be able to score enough to keep up with that. You know what I mean? Now, we have some Dolphins that we got to worry about, like a couple of things like that. But as far as like the first part of this schedule, if we can get part of the first part of this schedule with like our first 6 games, we have to take on the Eagles, the Chiefs. We already beat the Bills. If we can get past this first, I think our bye week is week 7.
Wait, you play the Eagles coming up?
Yeah, the Eagles are coming up.
Dallas? Wow.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This will tell us everything we need to know.
That's true.
Our gauntlet is here. You know what I mean?
We will definitely revisit.
Yeah, we're gonna have to revisit it.
All season long.
It's gonna be something that we're going to bring up all season long. But this right here is the proving grounds. Tomorrow night is going to tell us a whole lot about both teams. We're going to find out if Zach Wilson can maintain himself under pressure, and Honestly, if Dak Prescott can score a touchdown. But overall, I think we have what it takes. More importantly, we have one of those young defenses that just won't give up. We've seen that with the Bills game. You know what I mean? The Bills is a championship caliber team. If we can do that to the Bills, at least keep them under 20, there's no reason we can't keep Dak and them under 20.
I can't lie.
That's just as much. That's just as, you know what I mean?
I
That's
can't lie.
just as powerful.
I
That's
can't
just
lie.
as powerful.
I can't lie.
The only thing is their defense is nasty, but hey, we got some players over there. You know what I mean?
I
We
can't
got,
lie.
and we still haven't even pulled out McCole Hardman and his speedy legs.
I
We
can't lie.
still got weapons
I'm
that
Oh,
still
expecting
I
another
was looking.
blowout in the
I was.
MetLife this
I
weekend.
was looking forward to A-Rod and McCole Hardman this year, but like that would have been amazing because he would have knew how to get him the ball in space. But we'll see if Zach can do that. But I'm not gonna lie, Robert Saleh got this defense turned the heck up.
it's stacked.
And
That
so and
stacked.
so I'm gonna go out there and say that their season is not done because of this defense. Now, I will say though, if we remember last year, I want to say they started, what was it, 8-3? Correct me if I'm wrong, Mill,
Mhm.
because you're a Jets
Yeah,
fan.
something like that.
Yeah,
You're right. They had a
And,
terrible second half.
and it was because
Mhm.
of their defense that they started that way. So
Mhm.
I do fear that the same um the same voodoo, for the lack of a better word, is out there. For It's a possibility for this team, for that to happen again.
Brees Hall got injured too. That was another big thing that happened last year. You
True.
know what I
Yeah,
mean?
he's a stud.
We're
He's a
dealing we're
stud.
dealing we're dealing with a healthy Brees Hall now. You know what I
He's
mean? His first game that we were supposed to ease him back into was a 120-yard game. Just
That's true.
playing with y'all.
That's true.
Like, come on, y'all.
That's
That's
true.
nuts.
That's true.
Come
That's
on, that
true.
was just
That's true.
him
That's
just
true. That's true.
just jumping in the
Um,
game. Like, we dealing with some serious. This offense is different. This isn't the same offense, and like we said earlier, this isn't the same Zach.
True.
You know what I mean? Like, this is the Zach under the tutelage of Aaron Rodgers. We better put some respect on that man's name. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, granted,
I
when he
loved him
first
coming
got
out
here,
of BYU. I was telling King I wanted the Niners to draft him. I was hoping the Jets would pass on him, but I think it's over.
I was about to say, Gator, what you got?
I think it's over. I expect another blowout in the Meadowlands this weekend.
Right.
They'll definitely score more than the Giants. They have to, right? But I
Probably
just
not. Probably not. That's a
all right.
real. That's a
what
real.
I think the offense is gonna struggle a ton this year. I think the defense is gonna play okay the start of the year, but they're gonna tire out. People are gonna get hurt. It's just part of the game. People are gonna step in. Their defense isn't gonna be as good in the middle of the year as it is right now. So you better pile some wins together now. And the front half of their schedule is not easy, like you said. So could they squeak in as a wild card? Possibly. They might go 500.
Yo, when you look though, when you got these AFC teams getting off to a shaky start, like we know the AFC is a really good conference, like crazy, but we always say that about the AFC, and then things always get weird. Like, wait, why are these teams not excelling? Why is this team
No,
not
no, for
excelling?
sure,
So,
for sure. You could say that about maybe like teams like the Bengals and the Bills they might be, and the Ravens
and then
might
you
be
got
on
the
that.
Chargers. You got the Chargers getting off to a slow
Yeah,
start.
the Chargers
Possibly.
and Dolphins too. Yeah, but like it all works itself out eventually, and I don't think the Jets fit. I thought they barely fit with A-Rod playing because of how good the AFC was. I still had them as a playoff team, I believe. I have to go back and watch I'm pretty sure I had the Jets as a playoff team, but right on that fringe. And now without A-Rod, their season's done. And that if they were in the NFC, we could talk about this, but not over here in this
And
AFC.
here's the thing, too. The biggest thing is how fast Zach Wilson can get that ball out of his hands. If if
I don't
he
care how
adjusts,
quick he gets it out of his
Zach
hands.
Wilson is Zach Wilson is obviously the question here. Like
he's
that's
the
If you make a
he's
trade
the
for
key
Kirk
component to
Cousins, if
how
you
far
make a
they
trade
go.
for Kirk Cousins at that trade deadline, I got a different take. But with Zach Wilson as your quarterback,
there's
no
no other
way.
question on this Jets roster but the quarterback right now. But so
And
I
and
got
we'll
them at
skip,
like 4-5 going into the
we'll
bye
skip,
weeks or the
I
trade
can't
deadline.
and
If you make a change at quarterback, then we can re-talk about this conversation. But as of right
I can't
now,
see the Jets. I can't see the Jets giving up another first round again. You know what I mean?
I'm very
We
interested.
just got our first round back.
listen, the Vikings will take
Hey, Lord,
anything. They're
calm
losing
down.
them for free. The Vikings are losing Kirk Cousins for free. They'll take a third or fourth round
No,
pick.
no, they'll definitely try to get
Yeah,
good cap.
they're gonna push for a
Not
second.
if they're
But
bad. Not if they're bad.
let's skip our old school versus new
Yeah,
school
yeah.
today.
We're
Our
going
old
straight to
school
predictions.
our old school versus new school take today was going to be Jason Kidd versus the glove Gary Payton. Who did you have? And we'll make sure we have that old school versus new school
When we got
topic
Batman
on the
and
next show. Um, let's
week
go
2
straight into our
picks. Yeah.
week 2 predictions.
We'll
Look,
start
if you're
off with
out
him.
there, if you're a betting man or woman, look, man, look, this is under big dose here, man. We know what we talk about. Try to decipher from these picks that we pick and try to make your bets wisely, man. So week 2 predictions. Do you have a graphic for this game, or are we just getting
Of
straight into
course,
it?
we got it.
Okay,
Graphics up. So I'm gonna give
okay.
all of us that we forgot to preview that game on Monday. We always gotta remember, King. Because I forgot. We gotta preview the Thursday night game on Monday. We did not talk about the
we don't.
Vikings.
We don't got because that's week. I mean, that's week 2. You know,
What?
that's not week 1. That's not a part. Oh, Monday. Oh, Monday would be
Monday
because that's
at the end of the show
right.
we preview the Thursday game. We forgot to do
Right,
that last week.
right.
I'm gonna give us
Right.
all a win for that. I'm sure. I have a feeling all of us would have took the Eagles, so I'm gonna give us a win for that.
And our guess is, of course, is first.
So I'll read the
so-
match. I don't know if you got it up on your screen, or you want me to just read the matchups to you and you pick a winner. We
Yeah.
got game 1, Seahawks going into Detroit. Who you got? Seahawks versus Lions.
Okay, I think that's going to be a surprise game. I definitely got Detroit taking that one.
At home,
I
home
think
opener.
yeah, I don't think I don't think people respect Detroit's defense enough. It's going to take them to smack somebody like them in the mouth.
I said this is my
Yeah.
Is this not also my view on the Detroit Lions defense? And I've been saying this.
Well,
since
we
last
all said
year.
the Detroit Lions had an underrated defense,
Yeah.
except for
This is
your
one of those-
except for your
No,
pops.
no.
Except for your pops.
Every time, no, Gator. Every chance you get to throw stats
Nut-
at me about how bad their defensive stats.
No,
are,
that was your pops.
No.
Yes.
Batman does not throw.
I said they had Aiden Hutchinson and I said they had an underrated defense.
Yo, I remember, man. Okay, I remember being alone on.
I love the Lions.
Yeah,
You're probably thinking of the wrong
I'm
team.
taking the Lions
Okay,
for
what
this
we'll
one.
do is I'm gonna just read these out. If I see a weird pick that I don't agree with, that or me and King are like, "Whoa, good pick," we'll talk about that game after, because we got a lot of games. So Colts going into Houston. Who you got?
Houston's can't. I don't think the Houston can stop Anthony Richardson yet.
Okay.
That man he's a little different right now.
One to the
We
Colts.
got to wait for him. He got to come back down to being a human.
Chargers
You know what I mean?
going into Tennessee. Chargers going into Tennessee. Both teams 1-1.
This is the one I
Tennessee's
don't know
at
because
home.
You got to make a prediction for the people.
I gotta give it to Herbert. You know what I mean? I gotta give it to Herbert. Even though Tannehill has such a bomb run defense, that Herbert Eckler setup is just nasty. I don't know if he's gonna.
Eckler's gonna be out, but I still like that pick anyway. Chiefs going into Jacksonville.
That's Saudi. I'm taking the Chiefs, even though Evan Ingrams is my tight end from fantasy. I gotta give it to the
Raiders going into Buffalo, home opener for the Bills. Who you got?
Yeah, we taking the Bills on that one. I'm sorry, but yeah, that's an angry team.
Lamar
angry
Jackson
team.
and those Baltimore Ravens trying to take a huge advantage. This is probably the game of the week. A huge advantage in the AFC North race. They're going into Cincinnati for Joe Burrow and the Bengals home opener, who have scored at will against them. Who do you got? This is probably the game of the week.
I gotta give it to the Ravens. I think they're going to treat that.
I think you are all way too high on the Ravens. I think Lamar Jackson looked bad in that new offense. We'll see. We'll see if they go back to. We'll see if they go back to their. I don't know how King had them at 2 after week 1 because they looked bad against Houston, but that's his power rankings. We got Packers going into Atlanta. Very intriguing matchup because we're gonna find out a lot about one of those teams this weekend. Both are 1-0. One of those two teams are going to be 2-0.
I'm taking the Falcons on this one, actually.
Their defense.
Because, I was going to say that
their defense Falcons is real, King. They're real.
It's surprising.
They're real.
It's like
Jesse Bates and them. They're real.
They're surprisingly fast. You know what I mean? Like that's a very fast defense. Like,
no, they got corners. They got their secondary is really good.
It's just
really good.
But then again, at the same time, offensively, they're still questionable. I'm still waiting to see what Kyle Pitts is.
I want to see more of Desmond. I want to see. They ran a lot. I want to see more of Desmond Ridder.
Real quick, I ain't gonna lie. I did some film on the Falcons offense.
They're good.
It's hard to guard that. The way
they're running a lot.
The way
Kyle Pitts is a basketball player.
The way they're combining Tyler Allgeier's skill set with Bijan Robinson's skill set,
scary
is very complimentary right now. You like you have, and then especially when you got Drake London and Kyle Pitts as your receiver. When you have Drake London and Kyle Pitts as your receivers, you have no choice but to have your best corners out there. You have no choice but to have your best safeties out there. So now you're in a conundrum because you're sitting there like, okay, I gotta stop Tyler Allgeier and Bijan, but if I go all in on stopping the run game,
they got capable receivers.
Then you got two receivers that could absolutely get to in the red zone area on boom one play. But let me just on the just one scheme that I saw was the inside handoff play action to Tyler Allgeier and got the ball to Bijan Robinson in space. And the way that they did it was like how do you guard that? How do you guard somebody as cerebral as if you don't react to the inside handoff and they actually hand it off to Allgeier, he's going to gas you for 15.
I would love to see the Niners do that with Debo and Christian McCaffrey more.
And when they react to it, when you get Bijan in space, somebody that's cerebral in space, in clean space, it's like this Falcons offense. We love their defense, and I do too. They hired that defensive coordinator last year. This Falcons offense is legit. And let's move on. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
No, one quick thing about that too. One quick thing about that too, and then we'll just run through these picks. Think about. I mean, I know they played Carolina, but they won a football game pretty single-handedly this weekend. And Drake London had 0 catches, and Kyle Pitts had 3. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy.
The Falcons don't go in the air as much as you think they would. Kyle Pitts, low-key, should be...
Last year they didn't because they had Marcus Mariota. Last year they didn't so much because they had Marcus Mariota. They're expected to go more this year because Desmond Ridder can fling it, but they didn't need to this weekend. Bears going into Tampa. Who you got? Chicago going into Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay's home opener.
Yeah.
And I'll let you real quick because I know we got to move on, but I'll let you because you like the Tampa team. Just real quick, 30 seconds. Why are you liking this Tampa team?
One, because that's a Super Bowl team that outside of Baker, that was already a Super Bowl team. Now they're coaching a guy up to, okay, now you're part of this system and this is how this system works. And he fits very well. Very well. You know what I mean? Like they have that offense.
Okay.
That offense is quietly high powered. You know what I mean? And then like Mike Evans at 1,000 years old is still gonna give you 1,000 yards. Like he could be as old as he want and he can catch. Like
I love Mike Evans.
Yeah, I do. That's my
49ers at Los Angeles Rams.
This is the rough one because I don't know. The thing is,
the number 1 team in the league.
Because Stafford
is looking
Stafford.
good. He's looking good again.
Man, what? Did y'all see that? Like, I don't know what to say.
Seattle's
I think
defense
the
is
49ers
ass.
can take it, but
They're not.
Stafford is nice.
They're ass.
Stafford.
They're ass.
Okay. So who you got? We gotta stop doing this. Who you got?
Just because you said he's ass, I'm taking Stafford and them
No,
boys.
I didn't say Stafford's ass. I said the
He said
Seahawks are
Seattle's
ass.
defense is
The
bad.
Seahawks that they played are
yeah.
ass. But you got the Rams. You got the Rams anyway.
Yeah, I think the Rams can take that.
Giants going into Arizona.
Wait, who?
Giants going into Arizona. Home opener for the Cards.
Oh, that's my fantasy team. I took Arizona. That defense is gonna mess them up.
Anyway, Jets Jets at the Cowboys.
Now this one's funny, right?
Make a pick, Mill.
You're not gonna
You
like
could pick
this,
your
but
favorite team. You could
after
pick
all
your
I
favorite
was
team.
saying, after all I was saying, I see the Cowboys taking that game by a field goal or a touchdown. I don't see them
defense is
blowing us
better.
out though. I can't
Commanders
hand it.
versus Denver.
Wait, who was it?
Commanders at Broncos.
I'm gonna give this one to the Broncos because it's about time. It's
Home
about time my
opener for
boys.
Denver. Home opener for
Yeah,
Denver.
they gotta do it. They gotta
That's my
either
AFC
that.
West pick, baby.
Dolphins,
Yeah, it's like
Sunday Night Football. Dolphins versus Pats. Who you got?
I gotta give it. Nah, y'all not gonna like this, but I gotta give it to the Patriots because
He's picking a lot of home teams this week. He's picking a ton of home teams.
One thing about Bill Belichick is really good at figuring out someone's offense, and it's like, all right, we'll come up with the exact game plan it takes to mess this team up.
Monday night, and I could, like you said, I could trust Bill to take away Cheetah and Wild. Like that's what he does, right? He takes away your strengths and makes you plays through your weaknesses.
You can't take away Cheetah. You can't take away Cheetah. That might be the only player in the NFL history you cannot take away. Saints Panthers.
Saints at Panthers.
Oh, Derek Carr all the way.
Browns at Steelers.
I'm taking the Browns for that one.
Steelers are at home. Okay, Browns. Okay, those are his picks. Screenshot that, everybody. We'll follow up with him next week. See what his record is.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty close on that one.
I'm gonna switch the topic here just so everybody can see, because me and you are gonna be the ones that make the picks. We are gonna do a percentage for all the viewers if they do join the show, but me and you are gonna be the ones making picks every week. So I got a specific thing for just me and you going, just for a fun little game that we're doing. So I'm gonna close this out.
And first, hold on, but because this is we're closing the show here in a second. Mill, thank you for joining the show today and getting in on these sports topics, man.
Blessings, my brothers.
Again, out there, and you could clip this, Gator. The way the show works, when you are watching it live on YouTube, if you see a topic that you want in on, join the Discord and get in on the live streams with us. And then once the topic is over, you could then proceed to leave and go back to YouTube and continue to watch the show. Or if you want to go through the ringer with us, go through the whole show with us, like what Mill just did, you can do that also. So make sure you know that, all right? And Mill, thank you again. Thank you again for pulling up. This was your first time on the show.
Yeah, we got no more topics. You can hang around with us for the next 5-10 minutes if you want. We got no more topics. It's just gonna be me and King's picks, but you can hang out with us if you want. You can be out.
We're going. Well, you guys are definitely going to have to hear from me Monday after this Cowboys Jets game. Because
or you might be quiet and we can't.
It's an intriguing matchup.
That's one thing.
If they win this game, I will single-handedly come on here and apologize to the New York Football Jets.
But no. See, that's not good enough, though. That's not good enough.
What do you need from me?
Washed. And it's just like, honestly, I know we're going to have a hard time winning this game. But one thing I know that's not going to happen is we're not going to get our mouth tore out.
Not like the Giants. Not like the Giants.
That's not going to happen. I think now if we do win this game, though, I mean, that means I called it wrong too. You know what I mean? So you wouldn't be apologizing to me. But what I'm saying is, if
I'm
we
apologizing to
end
the
up
Jets
winning the game,
organization for
you
not
gotta
believing in
apologize to
them.
them guys. You gotta apologize to them. They're who deserve it. You know what I mean?
Okay. Paris Millberry, you already know how much I love you, brother. We go.
Yes,
That's
man.
sandbox.
Much love, man.
That's sandbox.
Much love.
That's sandbox,
Yeah,
man.
pop in
I love
whenever,
you,
man.
bro.
Pop in whenever. You
Bro,
know how to
for
do it
life,
now.
Always.
bro.
You know
Life,
how to do
boy.
it now. Discord always open.
Yes, sir. All right. Y'all stay blessed. I'm gonna still be watching on YouTube though.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes,
So
sir.
So
we about to wrap it up soon. King,
Um, yeah, I got
Seahawks,
Detroit. I got
Lions.
Detroit week one. I got Detroit week one. I'm not gonna lie. I was high on the
I
Seattle
don't know if you've
Seahawks.
seen. I don't know if you've seen the new graphic. Not graphic, but new topic. I got our records on there. You went 10-6 last week, so
Did
that's
I?
you did went 10-6. You started 6-0 and lost the and yeah, it was
Oh, did
bad.
I?
You started 6-0. It was
Seahawks.
bad.
Seahawks. I was high on them preseason. I need to see. I need to see Lions. I'm going with Lions. I'm gonna go here with the Houston Texans. Believe it or not, I just think this defensive coordinator that now he's the head coach now for the Houston Texans, who was his defensive coordinator for the 49ers last year. I think he's going to be able to scheme up something good enough to be able to corral Anthony Richardson. And it's just going to be a close game, but I think Texans might be able to pull that off. I'm going to go with the Chargers week 3. I really believe that the Chargers are as good as
They
advertised.
are.
They
The
went tooth
Dolphins
and
are
nail.
just super good too.
Exactly. They
Yeah.
went tooth and nail with the Dolphins, and finally, I feel good about the Chargers. Like years and years and years, I
The
just didn't feel
defense
good.
is the
It
defense is
was
still a
like,
little
yeah,
shaky, but
but honestly, it was
is that
Justin
everybody
Herbert.
in the AFC though? Like
It was Justin Herbert who I felt shaky about. Like that was the guy. Like it's just like, yeah, you could put up the numbers, but to me, he was like Kirk Cousinsy. It was like just empty stats. Now, finally, I feel as though this team is ready to take the next step. I'm going with the Chargers. Next matchup here, it's just hard to foresee the Chiefs losing 2 times in a row. But Chris Jones didn't practice all training camp. He wasn't there. Kelsey is still hampering. I'm going to go with these Jacksonville Jaguars at home. All right. That's what I'm going to go ahead and do right there because I just feel like Trevor Lawrence is here. He's not coming anymore. He's here. I'm going to go ahead and go with these Las Vegas Raiders over these Bills. Look,
wow.
Bills is
Eight
my
point dogs.
look, Bills is my Super Bowl pick. But let me tell y'all something right now. The reason why I'm always going to stay relevant as a sports analyst is because I'm not scared to change my picks. I'm
What
not the
if I
type of
told you
guy.
Devontae Adams might not play?
I'm sitting here questioning whether or not these defensive coordinators finally figured out Josh Allen. That's my main analytical outlook on that, and the reason why I got the Raiders winning this game. I forget the DA. We all know the other receiver who scored 2 touchdowns for them for the Raiders last week. He's probably out with the concussion as well. Jacoby Myers. They got Josh Jacobs. Am I correct in understanding that they still got Josh Jacobs? Am I
Yeah,
correct in
Jacoby
understanding
Myers,
that?
I think, is not going to play either. So
So
with
it's just like my
concussion.
whole thing is they still got Josh Jacobs in the backfield controlling the time of possession, and they still got a defense that's I'm seeing might stop Josh Allen. I'm looking to be off on the Bills on my Super Bowl pick.
On the
Um, I,
home opener though
yeah,
of the Bills.
I'm looking to
Okay,
be
okay.
I'm looking to be off on my Super Bowl pick with the Bills because Josh Allen is making me scared. We all know who I'm going with this matchup. I'm going with Action Jackson.
You don't think they split though? As an analyst, you don't think they split? Like you think they 2-0 them? Because then you got to have them winning
This
in
is my thing.
Baltimore.
This is my thing. This is my thing. I just think the Ravens are that good this year.
They're not though. What made you believe that week one? Lamar
Okay,
Jackson
okay,
struggled.
okay. Look,
You just
look,
love to talk about him even when he's
look,
bad.
look. Go ahead. Watch what happens Sunday. I got the Ravens. We'll talk about it
No,
on
I'm
Monday.
cool with the pick because the Bengals look bad.
with-
But don't
I'm
hype the
going with-
Ravens. Don't hype the
I'm going with.
Ravens.
Well, if you a shoe, you got the Bengals in the Super Bowl. So don't. This is not. Let's not act like this is not. Come on. If they beat the Bengals, the team you got in the Super Bowl, and you just said you like the Ravens pick, then that just means that they should.
Me
be
and you were both shaky about our AFC pick.
They should be hyped.
We're both shaky about our AFC.
Packers Falcons.
Our AFC picks are terrible.
I got the Packers here. I'm taking the Packers here. I'm starting to believe in that defense. I believe in that defense, and shoot, you know who else I'm believing in? Jordan Love. I'm believing without Watson, he don't have top tier receivers. Like this dude threw for 245.
Bears are bad though. Can we not overreact yet? Not yet. Let's see this game. This is a really good game. This is a really good matchup.
Okay. I won't put the emphasis on.
I'm okay
Love,
with the pick,
but I will put the emphasis on their defense though.
Okay.
And so I'm very interested to see the Falcons.
Yeah, they made Justin Fields day.
I'm very interested to see the Falcons offense versus the Packers defense. I got the Packers. I'm gonna go in this next game with the Bears.
Oh my
the
God.
Bears.
This is good. Jesus, you about to go. Your record's gonna tank after this week. Okay, keep going.
I'm going with the Bears. I'm going with the Bears because the Bears, real quick, just the Bears are out for blood. Justin Fields played horribly last week. He's gonna come back strong. And then I don't trust these corners for the Buccaneers. The corners for the Packers are actually that good. And so DJ Moore, these guys actually just couldn't get open. Like they just could not get open. I'm going with the Bears. Next matchup here, I'm going to go with the Rams at home. I believe in this offense. That Puka. I
like
rookie,
Choo-Choo. I like
out
Choo-Choo.
of BYU. All the attention now you got, like Puka it seems he's taking over the Cooper Cup role. Then you got Tutu with that 4.2 speed, just out there, just pew pew pew, just gashing you. And then you got the dynamic duo of Kyron Williams and Cam Akers in the backfield. Let's not forget of Matthew Stafford and his cerebralness, and let's not forget that defensive coordinator for the Los Angeles Rams is had them boys looking real good last
Home
Sunday.
opener in LA. You never know.
You
know the Niners have won 10 regular season games against the Rams, right? The Niners own Sean McVay. Just 10 in a row. This is when it's okay.
And it's time. New York Giants versus the Cardinals. Give me the Giants. Cowboys versus the Jets. Give me the Cowboys. These are two easy picks. Washington versus Broncos. Give me Broncos. Easy pick. Give me Patriots. Give me the Patriots over the Dolphins.
There's no way. But go ahead.
I love this Patriots team. I am a fan. They turned the ball over a lot, and y'all know me. I love turnovers in football because I say it's a part of the game. So I don't like when people bring up the turnover excuse, like, oh, they only lost because of turnover. Like that is literally, it's football. You know how easy it is to drop that ball that you're trying to hold in your hand. Like it's football. Like you're going to fumble. Like this football, guys are going to get to the ball and pick you off for interceptions. Like so, those turnovers with the Patriots against the team that went to the Super Bowl, lost one possession to the Chiefs, tooth and nail with them in the rain. Mac Jones, y'all, 54 pass attempts. I give Mac Jones a lot of shade, but he looked really good against that Eagles defense.
He did.
Monday night football. Give me
2 Monday night games this week.
Give me the Saints. Give me the Saints. And this is a tough one for me. This is the hardest decision right here with these Browns and Steelers. Because I know how Mike Tomlin gets down. He loses big, and then he comes back and have these like hurrah games where it's just like, oh my gosh. And these Browns defense,
they're definitely going to play better. The Steelers are definitely going to play better.
Though great, the Browns defense is not the 49ers defense. So it's not going to be as tough for Kenny Pickett out there. Give me the Browns. I think the Browns.
This might be the year where
Think
where
the
that
Browns.
record that gets broken with the Steelers. I'm still high on them, but yeah.
Give me the
So
Browns.
I'll
I think,
run through
I think
mine quick. I
for
already
real.
like I've watched them twice already. I know. Screenshot that for King if you guys want. I will go ahead and switch the topic real quick. Gator has the lead, a 1-game lead. I went 11-5 last week, so we got a 1-game lead. We gotta keep it. Got the Eagles. I got the Lions. I got the Colts. I got the Chargers. I got the Chiefs. I got the Bills. I got the Bengals, Falcons, Bucks, Niners, Cardinals in an upset, Cowboys, Commanders in an upset, Dolphins, Saints, Steelers. I think the Steelers win at home. For some of my upset picks, I really think the Giants are that bad. I think the Giants are actually that bad, and Dallas isn't as good as we think. I do think. Now that I think about it, I was just Paris Milbury. I was just busting his.
The Cardinals over the Giants. My goodness, this is there. Like you took a team that's literally purposely tanking to beat a team
I
that's
think the
trying to be
Giants. I
formidable.
think the Giants are that bad, King. That's just how I feel, man. I just think that's a trap game. I think at home the Cardinals. It's a long trip. It's a long road trip for the Giants. I think they start 0-3. And one of my other weird picks, I think, was I got the Steelers over the Browns. I just think the Steelers are going to play better.
They are.
And I think this is a tough game for the Browns. It's just going to be a weird game. That game could go either way. It's a 2-point. Wait, the Steelers are the oh, no. Okay, the Browns are. Yeah. I don't really have any other weird picks.
Yeah, solid.
You made
Um,
a kind of weird ones. Our 4 locks of the week. Let me just refresh this. Look at it real quick. I like the Chargers as my lock because the Titans might not have D Hop. They may
I
be
like
hurt,
that.
so I like that's my 1 lock, and I will go as my 2nd lock. I like the Dolphins as my 2nd lock. What are your 2 locks of the week, King? Put this in as a parlay, y'all.
My 2 locks of the week. I'm gonna take the Packers as a lock. I'm gonna take the Packers as a lock. And I'm gonna take. Well, you just talking about wins.
No, spread.
Oh, the spread. Oh my goodness. What's the spread on that Packers? Just only one? Yeah,
It's
I'll take the
1.
Packers.
Yeah, they're dogs.
And my other lock is those Lions.
-5.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Screenshot that, y'all. We went 3-1 last week. We almost had it. We almost won you some money. So if you bet it straight,
Who messed up the pick? It was me.
yeah, it was you. I don't know what you took. I don't even know
You're
what the
the
pick
betting
was.
guru. You're the betting guru. I'm not.
I don't know what the pick was, but 3-1. If you straight bet it, you won money. So if you didn't parlay it, and if you just took,
Send me your picks for this week, by the way, too. And make sure you clip this real quick. Make sure you clip this. Like, comment, and subscribe on these YouTube videos under Big Dogs. Like, comment, subscribe. And when you subscribe on YouTube, hit the bell right after you subscribe so that you can get the notifications for when we are live. This show is lit. This show is under Big Dogs. This show is yours, man. This is your show, all right? To watch and enjoy, or to come on the live streams with us to talk sports with us. Big shout outs to Ty Nation for coming through. Big shout outs for Milbury for coming through. We're going to get those ads, those IG ads and those social media ads so that we could post your takes on our social platform. And again, another great show, Gator. Everybody, thank you for coming through.
yeah, on Monday we got we'll preview week 2. I mean, we'll review week 2, and then we got a preview for Thursday night football and Monday night football. We got 2 Monday night football games to review. We getting blessed with 2 Monday night football games, and then we will also review Giants Niners. I think is the Thursday night game next week. So we'll get that. Maybe get some NBA topics in because we didn't have any of those. We will see you guys Monday. Much love under Big Dogs Nation. We out.